steel, a giant stands, a mech with heavy man's commands, each step a quake, a thunderous might, eyes aglow in the endless night, a taint beneath, dark and vast, power fierce, shadows cast, a mighty taint beneath its core, a warrior spirit, ancient lore. Welcome Tainted, a lace-up tunic or medieval hoodie. Welcome Tainted, let's talk about color, or should we? Welcome Tainted, thinking outside the blocks. Welcome Tainted, thanks for joining us, you rock! Have your fun hole rocked. Welcome Tainted. Enjoy the Chronicles Outdoor song. Welcome Tainted. Thinking outside the blocks. Welcome Tainted. Thanks for joining us, you rock!
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us for Think Outside the Blocks, your weekly official live stream from Brickworld, where we talk to you about thinking outside of the perceived rigidity of the LEGO medium and also thinking outside of your mental blocks. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Mark Larson, Chief Brick Officer of Brickworld, and this guy over here, the guy on my left, everybody's favorite host, Mr. Ben Hauger, Z-Cerberus. How you doing this week, sir?
Oh, it's been a week, I tell you what, but hey, let's start with the new intro.
Yeah.
You liked the new intro. A couple dropouts there with kind of a false ending thing a couple times.
A couple times.
To get in a couple of nice new lines about having your fun hole rocked, of course. And, you know, just, hey, getting everybody in there who's a channel member.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a channel member, you certainly can. But if you don't want to be a channel member, like and subscribe anyway if you enjoy what you see with the weekly absurdity featuring this guy and that guy.
Yeah.
Or this guy and that guy.
Right, whichever ones, these two guys. And if you're joining us for the first time and you don't like us, just click like anyway, because hitting buttons is fun. Just all you got to do is like, and there you are. It helps us out. Appreciate that a lot.
The subscriber count is still climbing towards 1,000. We're not there yet, though. So if you've got someone who loves LEGO and loves absurdity, this is the place for them.
That's right, absolutely. All right, so we got the Tainted in the house early tonight. I know Rob Claxton was here with an early comment, but I did not actually see him. I don't see the comment now. I mean, so let's. Sorry, where am I at here? Good evening, Ben. How's your day? I'm not quite on live stream brain yet.
Good evening, sir.
VMAC Attack is in the house. He says, welcome Taints and Flaming Beavers. Marty Becker is back. Hey, Marty Becker, how are you, sir? He says, hello. Sarah DeRosset is also here. Maybe we'll see a little bit of Sarah DeRosset tonight. Who knows, right?
It's a possibility. Who knows?
I say, because why talk to us from the chat when you could talk to the chat directly yourself, sir? Oh. Look who it is, everybody. We got VMAC Attack in the house tonight.
Hello. Hello.
How you doing this week, sir?
Pretty good. Doing a lot of LEGO this week. Brickworld Fort Wayne project working on.
Nice.
Quite extensive.
Yeah, so we can see a bit of that tonight?
Yes, we will. Whenever you want to.
And look at that. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but we've got a race car on the brick badge.
Lando Norris won the
look at that
Grand Prix today.
Yeah.
My favorite driver.
Great NASCAR stuff.
Yeah, if you start getting on a line, even though your name is VMAC, we might feed you one of these. Just for a little bit of fun. There we go.
Brick Orphanage is here. Good day to you, sir. Good day. What am I? VMAC is also in your house, Sarah DeRosset. How about that?
Yeah. How about that?
Very cool.
How about that?
So should we go over the run of the show, or do you want to talk about our weeks first? Or
yeah, let's see what we're talking about. Here it comes.
I told you I would take this off your plate this week, and then I asked you all these questions about it.
That's okay. I did it today. because we had some ideas on some of the things we wanted to cover.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Lego announced some news, and oh boy, what do you know? There's some crossed-up animals in there. But first, we'll talk about our weeks with some life changes. Unfortunately for me, one life change to discuss, maybe some other ones. We'll talk about some cool builds, in theory, including one from VMAC. Of course, we'll do Closet of Shame because whenever we have one of these, I know it's on here. Just give me a second. Just give me a second.
Yeah, no worries.
We got so many of these dang things. Here it is. Whenever we've got this, we like to do Closet of Shame to learn who we're talking about or who we're talking to and what's in their Closet of Shame. Then we're going to talk about some Lego news, including crossed up animals. And then something strange happened. You know, as it turns out, there was a lot more on Stud Sidious's phone than we thought.
A lot more.
It turns out there were some unreleased themes on there as well. And I'm going to tell you right now, mine, some of the stuff I found a little disappointing. I think that I'm going to have to make a confession during it that's, you know, going to change some people's opinion of me.
All right. Well, that's fascinating. I wasn't expecting that. I'm interested to see. And we've got Vince here with us to share his opinion on these as well. You know, when I was going through them, I found some of them intriguing, but you can kind of tell why they decided not to ultimately release these.
Yeah,
these sets.
I think that's part of my disappointment. Is I feel a little bit like Lego trapped me. And so, you know, we'll talk about that. Then we'll do a close call and a cash me outside. So that sounds like maybe a rant. And then you can catch us later. We can talk about where we're going to be next week. It's a holiday weekend. I'm going to be at my dad's place. However, my wife said to me today, "Are you planning to stream from your dad's house?" And I thought,
of course you are.
Well, if you're suggesting that that's a possibility, then yes, I am. So I think that we might both be there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll definitely be in town. We're watching Cheeto, so we'll have both dogs here. Isn't everyone lucky? I think my dog just left the house. Actually, I think Matt husband is taking her to the park. Yeah. This is what everyone joins for, to find out the status of my dogs.
Yeah, we can definitely hear you sorting some Lego there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's 2 pieces I need in order to make this look right.
Well,
what I did today.
And we can talk about some weird life changes, something exciting, not so exciting in my life. This is part of, I think, everything. This happens to lots of people. It's hardly unique with us. But my wife found out this week that she is having a reduction in force at work that included her position. And that's, you know, one of those things where it really, I think, told me more than any time else. My wife, very good at what she does. She's a HR talent coordinator, or at least that was her position. She still has it for another month. She's been there for years. Everybody loves her who works with her. But that doesn't always make you safe in corporate America of being downsized. I think she's going to land on her feet, though. I'm not concerned about that to the extent that, like I said, you know, everybody who knows her has basically reached out and said, you know, would you like me to put you in contact with somebody, including Mark. Mark even said that he doesn't know anyone in Minnesota who's going to, you know, give her a job. But it doesn't matter. It's just the kind of thing that happens to a lot of people, and we're feeling it this time, or at least we will be in the coming months when it gets a little tense. At the same time, it'll give my wife an opportunity to perhaps refocus on something she wants to do more. Recently, it's been kind of stressful at work because they were doing a bunch of things that she didn't necessarily like. But like I said, I think she'll come out of this okay. But who knows? It might be a little intense. And you know, I might have to take a second job as a funhole set producer.
You may have to do that.
Yeah. I shared with Mark this week. I actually got contacted on Instagram. And this is not the first time, I will add.
That is crazy.
I got contacted by somebody at Funhole in theory. Who knows if it's really someone from Funhole? It was like lots of emojis. We love what you do. Why would you like to collaborate with us on it? Not a set.
Now that was definitely the voice that was texted in for sure.
With all those emojis, that is 100% the voice.
And honestly, I was like, when you showed me that, when you screen capped that and sent it to me, I was like, way to go, Ben. Great job. VMAC, as a LEGO fan, when you watch the show and we talk about all the amazing things that Funhole can bring us, how do you feel about having that?
I would look forward to an email for somebody asking me to touch their Funhole. No, I actually enjoy the Blockover things a lot. Although Funhole seems more legit than
it does
these other ones,
which makes me like it less.
Yeah,
like how dare you?
It's not good enough, but it's too good to make fun of. So, but yeah, definitely the Blockover stuff is hilarious and definitely worth tuning into. That and lifestyle shots and Blockover's lifestyle shots especially. Although the LEGO ones aren't too far off of being ridiculous, but they're not quite as ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, Rob Claxton is here, and he's got some of the new D&D minifigures. Never Too Old for Lego is back. He's got something he doesn't understand about Lego. They did Harry Potter, Pirates of the Caribbean, and lots. Lord of the Rings, maybe he meant. Why didn't we get the TV show Vikings? Yeah, good question. I mean, I'd buy those sets for sure. If they had detailed minifigures of those guys with their shoulders, yeah, absolutely. They did do a Vikings theme. It was very much like only Denmark gets this, and then they, did it everywhere. There were a few waves of it with like diminishing returns, I would say. Papa Rex is here. Yeah, I was going to say this. Amy Schultz sending out her best wishes to Z's spouse. I would say Z's spouse is definitely like. From what I know of her, knowing her over the years, definitely the one to find the silver lining in things. I know when Miles was going through his terrible twos, she had a very good attitude about it.
Yeah.
It made me laugh. Rob Claxton just started his second job at the Dollar Tree, so he understands. If you need to start a second job at the Funhole, he's on your side.
Yeah. And there was other things this week, but that was the one I think worth sharing, at least for the people who might know some of our extended family in the Tainted, including Z's spouse.
Yeah, you share whatever you need to, sir.
That's it for now, but it was a change. You have any strange life changes this week, Mark?
Yeah, I had a really bad day on the same day you had a really bad day, and I'm pretty sure they're comparable. My dog bit the vet tech.
Yes, you told me that. Yes.
Yeah, that
basically
was
the same thing.
Basically the same.
Yeah.
I was like, Orion bit the vet. Well, I was actually really distraught because when they came out and told me that she bit the vet tech, not forgetting that the animal cat exists, I thought they were going to be like, we're calling animal control and your dog needs to be put down. And even though my sister had a Rottweiler that bit several children, let's just leave it there for now, but trust me, it was okay. And knowing that they don't really call unless there's like a vicious dog that like breaks skin, and Orion did not break the skin. She was just really scared. She's become very terrified of the vet. And we were able to get the problem she was having cleared up, but it wasn't until Friday because we had to go through we had to drug her, basically. We had to get her nice and high. I do love this comment here from Never Too Old for Lego. It sounds like a rant in the making. Why has no one made a desktop brick maker like a heat press and used recycled plastic? Well, I'll tell you one thing. ABS cannot be recycled. It can be melted down, but I'm not really sure what else can be done with it. Prayers for Z's spouse from Sarah Dorosset. If you can melt plastic in a waffle maker, then you could make bricks. I'm loving the way this rant is going. Funhole is a standout alternative. They are trying to avoid themes Lego does. Sort of.
I mean, right now, there's not a lot of Lego Medieval, but, that's what they specifically asked me about, again, if it was even a real person. It was just funny because, to be fair, this is not the first time I've received an Instagram message of that variety. It is the first time I've received one from Funhole. Plenty of other times they come across and they don't say who they're with, and you're just like, you just ignore it. But I was like, I actually know who that is, which was funny. At least I know who the company is.
You know what's really funny about this? They never contact me, or Or perhaps maybe this is more, I never check my Instagram messages.
Could be that one. Yeah.
So Ben and Vince, I'm glad you're both here for this to discuss. Because I have a little bit. I knew you had a bad week, Ben, so I planned a few surprises for tonight. Now that we got a good group of Tainted here, I'd like everyone to hear this very inspiring song. And after the inspiring song, we're going to play a little game. But been a while since we heard a new song. We heard an extended version of the intro tonight, which is very enjoyable. But if you want to get hit in the feels and feel good about struggling with your Lego creativity, take a listen to I Hit It on You, and now it looks like I've hit it on myself. So you wouldn't know it was here. Here it is. Check this song out.
When I open the box, pieces galore. I'm dreaming of castles, but it feels like a chore. These bricks in my head, they don't make it clear. Where's the blueprint for magic? I'm full of fear. Feeling lost, like I'm blocked by a wall. But I won't let it break me, I'll stand tall. Braving the elements in search of the light, building my dreams through the endless night. Architect of my passion, with a vision so bright. One brick at a time, I'll win this fight. Kids build unicorns with laughter and ease, dragons and spaceships, the creativity frees. While I'm counting the angles, frustrated I cry, searching for answers, wishing I could fly. Every piece tells a tale, I'll find my way. Through trials and errors, it's my play. Braving the elements in search of the light, building my dreams through the endless night. Architect of my passion, with a vision so bright. One brick at a time, I'll win this fight. So I'll keep on building piece by piece, with each creation a moment of peace. Braving the elements in search of the light, building my dreams through the endless night. Architect of my passion, with a vision so bright. One brick at a time, I'll win this fight. So I'll keep on building piece by piece, with each creation a moment of peace.
All right, so before I share my thoughts about this song, I'd like to hear what your guys' reaction is to this. I've heard it several times now.
Why?
Why? What? Why?
I will definitely play that.
Yeah.
As part of the soundtrack to my building.
Yeah.
But I felt it needed a video. I'm gonna be honest.
It does. I feel that too.
Yeah.
That's a little unfair to me because I only got this at 11 p.m. last night. And I had an idea that I'm definitely gonna make a video out of it. And I'm like, I don't have a lot of time today, so I'm just gonna put in a slideshow of pictures of MOCs from last year's Brickworld. That didn't happen either. But I found a fun font for the Brave and the Elements theme. Vince, what'd you think?
Well, I already have a video in mind that would be excellent.
Okay, so no more thoughts about videos. Outside of the video. Yeah.
Lyrics were great. I know it's like modern times, so the the auto tune was a bit much for me, but that's what modern music is. So I
The
guess
flange,
it
yeah.
depends what market we're going for, but it could definitely be like a definitely closing ceremony song, like the Olympic closing ceremonies, like iconic song. That could be the Brickworld iconic closing ceremonies anthem.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be the anthem for 2025. To be honest, when I came up with Braving the Elements, I just wanted to use earth, air, fire, and water in the graphics for it. So I didn't think of it this deeply, but now I do. And Braving the Elements in this way is inspiring and hopefully it'll encourage people to, if they haven't built before, like bring something new, or if they haven't been to the show, to build something and bring it and come on out. Like the song gave me chills, like just like the lyrics, find them very inspiring, very empowering. So here's a fun game.
You should put on some socks.
As I said, I did not write this. Okay. I don't know who this person wrote this through. I don't know if they went to our GarageBand then. Perhaps they did. But here's the game for you two. Ooh. This was written by a member of the Tainted, ooh, and you get 3 guesses who wrote this.
Ooh.
You may ask me yes or no questions in the meantime. And I may or may not answer them.
Did you commission this song?
I did not.
It was submitted.
They did this on their own. Yep. They just said, "Hey, I've got something for you," and I was like, "Okay, what's this?" Click. What? That's kind of the experience. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes or no questions.
Okay. Yet, do you think it needs a video? I mean, that's your fault, but do you think it needs a video? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I do.
Because I wanted a video when I was listening to it and doing this to it, which you saw me doing, right? I was singing along. I just needed some inspirational builds to pop up on there to show us breaking through the wall and all this other stuff.
Okay, no more questions about video.
Okay, fine. Does this member of the Tainted have children?
Yes.
Okay. BMAC, throw a couple things out there.
Are they currently like in the chat?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, they are. Yeah, you sure can.
Amy?
So that's the first guess. Amy Schultz. No, Amy Schultz did not write this.
Let's see here. You know, the only other person that I'm initially thinking of, because this would be like a double whammy, would be this could have come from Sarah herself.
Oh no, she can't carry a tune in a bucket.
Yeah, it could have, but it did not. So that's two guesses down.
Okay. Man,
we got one more guess.
We're not hitting this.
You are certainly not. Not yet, anyway. You have one more guess.
Let me see.
I get a sidebar.
Do you guys want me to mute so you guys can sidebar with each other?
No, I think we're just gonna have to go for it because that explains why there was, no video. Why do you keep talking about the video? Let's see. We don't have a lot of other choices in here, so let's just throw down a. I'm gonna go with this was Garage Band, and I'm gonna say it was Ralph Nader. That's what I'm going with. Brick Dad Builds working on the video. This would make sense. That's why that's in there. Thank you, Brick Dad Builds, and that makes sense. He definitely has kids.
Yeah.
And definitely didn't sing it himself, or maybe he did. I don't know.
Maybe.
No judging.
Maybe he has a range. Yeah. Yeah, we know damn well I didn't write that because there weren't enough jokes or fun holes in it.
It was lovely. It just needs a video.
Didn't mention I understand that. Hey, Cooper.
I was thinking it was gonna be like a "Freedom Isn't Free," like kind of more Markish style song, but it's actually being quite sweet.
Very sweet. Cooper Copper Kayak is here. It did. Maybe it did that. Okay, so yeah, Lego news. I'm sorry, Brickworld news. Badge sales are open. If you guys aren't aware, if you didn't watch ACOB on Thursday night, we can do a quick little rundown. Hey, badge sales are open. Oh my God, a ton sold. And Tuesday, Sunday, and I think Wednesday now. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday are all sold out for the hotel. But let me see if the entire hotel block is sold out yet, because I have not checked that today.
My wife told me that she tried to log in and it sent her to the wrong block or something. from the website? And I'm
Um,
sure she was, she was on her phone, so it's hard to know.
No, but 95% of the block is sold out. If you tried to get Wednesday night, it wouldn't let you get the entire thing. Your best bet is to call the hotline, which we have a link to once you get your registration. We're doing something sneaky this year where we're only giving you the link to the hotel reservations if you have already purchased your registration. And let me see if I can find that number. You think I would know it offhand, but I don't. And I'll see if I can do something about that.
Let's see here. While you're doing that, here
okay.
we got some things.
Yeah, things. Nice.
Yeah. Brick Dad Build says that the song was inspired by his daughter. Never Too Old for Lego said, very cool, Dad. Amy Schultz also gave a awesome job. And Charlie Kaufman says, with AI, I could sound good. Maybe. Z Spouse is clarifying, I went to the hotel link on the Brickworld website and it brought me to 2024. Well, there you have it, Z Spouse. We apparently have to register first.
Yeah.
And then we'll get that.
I don't know how you got to that page because we took it down. So you're stealthy. Good job.
She probably is. Very sweet. Thanks for sharing at Brick Dad Builds. Yeah, that's going to have to come onto my playlist now.
Yeah, no kidding. Well,
for sure, but I need the video.
And you know, Ben, how the songs that we write get into our heads and on repeat ad nauseum, like the orange spaceships. I oftentimes wake up with that in my head.
Yeah.
But this one's been stuck in my head all day, and I don't know the lyrics yet. So I've been like,
I felt
that's with me all day.
When I first heard it, my first thought was, why are we getting this right now, right? Because I thought at first that you had done it, but now that I know you didn't, it makes a lot more sense.
I told you I didn't.
Who knows with you? You're sneaky. But secondly, I was like, this sounds or gives me the feeling like everybody was so jazzed about Celine Dion at the Paris Olympics. Like, this seems like an opening song type thing. So I felt like we were unveiling it too early. But now I know more about the source, and it makes more sense. So there we have it.
Yeah, there you are. I don't know why you would ever not believe me. It's not like I'm ever sarcastic or lie about things.
Yeah. Sarah says, I can't sound good even with AI. So there we have it.
There's a video on my channel if you don't believe her.
No, that's okay. We'd like to keep.
Sure.
Our viewers, including Sarah.
I don't see why not.
Everything's on Facebook, not on YouTube. I can make that happen.
Let's see here. Here's the question while you're looking at that. Do we want to do Closet of Shame and then MOCs, or do you want to do MOCs and then Closet of Shame? How are you feeling?
Let's get to the MOCs. I feel like, this is about the average amount of time that we go without talking about Lego, but I also feel like we might be 5 minutes past it, but we did play like a 2.5 minute song.
That's true.
So let's go ahead and get started. Should we let our guest go first?
Sure.
Awesome.
Let me see here. Well, the one issue that I have with all of that, of course, is that our guest doesn't have a walk-up song. However, just because he doesn't have a walk-up song doesn't mean we can't play one. So here we go. The walk-up song before VMAC shows us what he's been building. It's a short one, but a goodie. Here we go. And there we have it. We are going to switch over to the big picture view for VMAC, working on a build here on the table now.
Yeah, this is as far as area, it's 2/3 done.
Okay.
This is wow.
Yeah, wow. It's just a little one. This is part of a collab for Fort Wayne.
Oh, nice. I'm really happy to see some. So is it the Fort Lug collab?
It's just me and one other member.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so this is the end of the left side that we got. So we got another 6 plates to do on the right side. So it's the theme here. So this is the Church of the Holy Separator. This looks like a normal Gothic cathedral, but on on the inside, there's all kinds of little fun doodads.
Yeah.
And so you might have seen it last year, but the other guy has it's like a 3 foot tall mech made out of brick separators, mostly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's the deity that the people of the Church of the Holy Separator worship,
Obviously.
and it's going to appear before them. So we have
Yeah,
our
okay.
brick separator Stonehenge.
Yeah, we've got separator henge over there.
Aha, nice.
And thankfully, you actually can't see that. I would have to move the camera. I don't, but my can't tree tagline. I'm really bad at trees. Oh, I can just move the thing.
Can't tree. I can't tree.
Can't tree.
Oh yeah, you just pick it. Yeah, perfect.
There you go.
That makes
There's a tree.
That's not bad.
It's a terrible tree. I mean, it's the best I can do, but
It's not terrible.
it's the best tree I've ever made. But the other ones were
There
really
you go.
bad. So
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So you can say what you want about the tree. However, and that's your decision. I'm not saying anything about the tree. There are a number of things on here that I really like.
Amen.
And I think the tree's all right, right? It is, I think, part of what you're struggling with on the tree, and Mark and I have sort of evolved away from this over time, is that when you are stacking bricks on top of each other without any sort of angle, they tend to kind of look like this, as opposed to being able to flex them down in some way to kind of give you more of a canopy shape or feel.
Yes.
And so that's probably where you're struggling. It's a very thick trunk as well. That's not necessarily bad. But I think that would probably help on that.
I would say the thing to think of is like a tree's trunk branches out from every part of it. So if you want a base that's big, that's totally fine. That's a cool looking tree if it's going to be that thick at the base. But let it branch out and split. It's not a tube the entire way up. I mean, honestly, just look at pictures of trees and like look at what think of what pieces might create the shape that you want out of the tree that you want, because that tree could be epic. It just needs a little bit of work.
second best tree ever. So
I like that.
There you go. That's not bad. But it's the same thing, right? You've got all of them kind of stacked together, as opposed to spreading them out a bit.
beanpole.
But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I really can't tree very well. And
Yet.
I've not done it. Yeah, and my big build for Chicago is going to be like a 3-foot tree. So we'll see how that works.
But yeah, I would say that's quite a thing to tackle if self-proclaimed can't tree. Urban Bricksville wants to know, is that an OG goat you got there?
It is an OG goat.
Brickhead Brad says, I did a painting class with my kid one time. This old lady was complimenting my trees and was like, trees are hard. I didn't tell her I had a bachelor in art.
Oh, Brickhead Brad. But moving away from the tree, and
I was wondering, is there a ruined bridge at over the river? Like what's happening there in the yeah, that's very cool.
I need to do more on this side, but I'm going to wait till I get the other plates there.
I really like that. That's compelling to me. And immediately it looks like something that's like tells a story.
Yeah, trying to get everything tied together is my struggle. Like thematically and color. I mean, because like even in nature, if you get like the vegetation near the creek isn't going to be the same as in like a hill.
I agree with Big Brad. I love the river too.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, I think the river itself is very well done. I do like the vegetation on the bottom close to the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
There's a nice mix there. I think you've also incorporated the lighter green color. I always fail miserably at getting that color in there. But I think you've done it pretty well here as well. The other thing I noticed right away is that you had the church built at an angle, which is the type of thing that I want to think of more often and actually execute on more often, is not having everything so lined up all the time.
Yeah, and Vince, we interrupted you. We're very excited about this, so apologies. Please, no, I did it first.
If anybody sees stuff that's like out of place or needs improvement on, this is under construction, as you can see by the barricades. So you can rate it a little bit, but like really the only part that I would say is finished is up by the tree where I have the landscaping, the rock and stuff. The mountain thing needs, it needs greebled quite a bit.
Gotcha. Greebling
And-
rockwork. Yep. Mhm.
And then obviously finishing this off where it kind of flows down more naturally.
Yeah, some
It's just,
transition.
Hey Vince, take a look at your screen real quick. Is this the god you are speaking of?
It is.
Thought so.
Yeah, so that'll be on the right side, 6 plates, him walking up, and we're gonna have different little minifigure scenes of things that happened along the way or during. Probably he might have stepped on like a hay wagon or something, and somebody's absolutely distraught.
Minions he crushed along the way. Some bones, some blood and guts.
We'll probably have some little like
That's what I see.
campfire voodoo stuff around. The congregation is in a complete eclectic mix of my favorite themes and characters and all that. So they're going to be outside of the church in this and doing their own little things. So hopefully it plays well. It's a serious build, but the theme is ridiculous.
Mhm.
So,
Which is awesome.
I want to do glory to both our skills as builders and Lego as an art thing, but also have a ton of fun with it.
I actually honestly have this question too. Are there Mandalorians hanging out back there? The way I'd like to ask it is, where does the mock stop? Because that blue and gray gate back there looks like it could be part of it, but it also looks like a Marvel weapon.
No,
That's the Gauntlet. That's Bo-Katan's ship.
Yeah, that's a ship.
Damn it.
That's just hanging out back there.
I didn't read. I don't know if you can see up top.
Well, happy accident.
I've not redone my Star Wars shelf to make room for it yet.
Are you in a pole barn?
Sale Brickworld.
Do you have your own Lego pole barn? Is that what I'm seeing?
No, it's in my basement.
Oh, okay. This is showing my bias towards people who live in Fort Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
You have pole barn.
I would love to have a Lego pole barn.
So would I.
I sent Mark.
The mock stops here, which is 3 plates, which is all fit on the table anyway. Plus, I don't think I have bricks to go any deeper. It's a lot of green bricks.
Is there a chandelier we can look at?
Yes, apparently there's a chandelier. Ooh, it comes out with the top.
Amy Schultz, this is what we're talking about. Look at that. Oh, wow.
It's chandelier-y.
Can I be the first to admit that I thought there was a chandelier in the basement?
Oh,
like a real life.
We have one in the dining room.
Yeah, I sent Mark a text when I was at the Mall of America. No, at the State Fair, the Minnesota State Fair yesterday, of a shirt that said Fort Wayne, and then I had a hashtag under it that said, "It's not that bad." So apparently that's the hashtag for Fort Wayne. Is it's not that bad?
State motto. It's on their flag.
I guess. I don't know. I thought that was funny when I saw it. Because that lady didn't seem to mind wearing the shirt, so I don't know where she got it.
Hey, Big Nate Bricks is in the house. How you doing, Nate? Thanks for joining us. It can be if you just add a chandelier, Sarah.
Hopefully it hasn't flooded as many times as Mark's.
It's got damp, but it's never had standing water.
Okay.
Damp's not bad. Some people like being damp. So I'm glad Ben explained to me what was happening with the separator hinge, because I just thought it was kind of like it made it look to me like it was more of a planet instead of like somewhere here on Earth. I mean, it may not be on Earth in the first place. I don't know.
Angle?
Whatever you want to show us is totally fine.
All right, I'm gonna try to not give everybody like vertigo here.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of at first, before you kind of realized when he said, and I think you'll be able to pick this up when the whole thing is done, that this was a deity, where they sort of praised the brick separators.
Yeah.
At first when I saw it, it looked like an orange aqueduct at first, but then I pretty quickly picked up that no, that's like Stonehenge made out of brick separators.
Yeah, and I don't know. That helps?
Church of the Holy Separator. There we go.
Oh yeah, that definitely explains it. Brick by Brick Together is here. Brickhead Brad says hashtag can't tree. We need that on a shirt. I think the Lego community would appreciate it. Yeah, we'll have to get working on that. Maybe it's something we'll sell on at the Brickworld merchandise booth, or on Etsy, or on Redbubble, or wherever we want to sell it.
So the only other thing I would say, VMAC, is you know, it sounds like to understand that the church outside of the sign is celebrating the brick separator, or that it's its holy symbol or whatever. You said there's some touches inside that show that, but is there really anything on the outside? Because are you going to be pulling the top off a lot? If not, there's got to be, you know, something to sort of suggest that the brick separator is, you know, important on the outside as well.
Besides the giant being
Besides
made
the
of
sign and the giant being who's going to be slightly, you know, separated. Yeah.
made of
Yeah.
brick separators. Yeah,
Right.
maybe that'll do it.
Yep.
So there's
Yep.
there's a ton on the inside. I had thought about displaying it with one of the roof panels off,
Okay.
but I also might just light it because like the stained glass windows are also ridiculous. Like one's a Pokeball, one's a Google symbol. I got the Brickworld sword from Zelda. So maybe lit, and that will just kind of. But the idea was it wasn't supposed to be ridiculous on the outside. Like it was
Okay.
supposed to look like a legit Gothic cathedral. And
It
then
does.
Only when
Yeah.
you go deeper does the humor come out.
Okay.
Can we?
But that's
Can we-
why
I
I
mean,
did it with
that's
the
your
small
choice,
mini
you know?
scenes.
Yeah,
I
as
think
long as
you're-
you've thought about being able to see inside it in some fashion,
I think
that'll help.
I think your landscape is excellent. It looks organic. It doesn't have like the outside organic edges that Ben's creations do, but neither do mine, because I can't figure that part out. I've tried, but what you've got here is beautiful. The river, the movement of the river, especially being able to see where it goes. Is it on different levels? My eyes are getting a little bit old, and I'm on my smallest
I
screen
can
here.
tell it is.
Yeah,
for
It
sure.
definitely is.
The
Yep.
front is just flat base plate,
All right, I want to see this.
and then we're
Goes
on a Mills plate plus one layer brick.
Oh yeah. Sorry, you guys have to look up my nose now because I want to see it on a bigger screen here.
And then however big the mountain is, like
Oh,
10 bricks high.
and there is a spaceman. So is this on a different planet?
No, he's just there for scale.
Oh, okay, and the goat for scale as well. So yeah, the rockwork. You suffer from Mark rockworkism, and that like you.
It's not complete. It's
Oh, okay.
the frame of the rock work. I've not. The only thing I've done, like as far as like detail wise, is that top underneath the tree.
Okay, I will leave it alone then. I will not say another word about it.
If you have like tips and tricks, though, I'm totally open.
I learned from Ben, so I would be remiss in this company to try to give you advice because you should listen to Ben over me easily. Oh, and now that I see it a little bit more closely, the way that you've layered those leaves into the transition is beautiful. That's really fantastic. Can we see the church up close?
Yeah.
Let's bring that bad boy back. Maybe do a little close up on it.
Little musical interlude. Do.
I totally thought this in the smaller comment said this is not pirate flat. And I do agree.
You want to do like a walk around or?
Hey, sure. Whatever you want to do. Yeah, I do. This is the first time we've had someone bring a build onto we had Stud Sidious, of course, but it was because he was going to talk to us about Lifestyle Shot. And we're like, hey, what are you building? And Nicole did as well. But check this out. Oh, nice.
So, there's little things going on about everywhere as far as it's nothing necessarily important, but you can see that something's going on everywhere you look.
That dome is nice. I really like the shape you achieved with the dome. Yeah, I was like, don't take that dome away yet. Yeah, nicely done.
Nice dome.
Yeah, excellent use of those flexible cables. Flexible cables. Why am I talking like that?
Figure out how to round those. I don't know how well we can see in there at all. Not really.
Stained glass.
Oh, the stained glass is nice.
Yep, it's a good technique. I like that one. Especially when you get the color through there. And I would be interested to see the Google logo and the Pokeball in the stained glass windows. That sounds fun.
Google logo is as fun to say as Cooper Copper Kayak.
Almost, yeah. And I think it'll definitely help if you have one of the roof panels off. You'll be able to see the stained glass a lot better.
Hold on a second. Sorry about
Yeah,
the camera.
it's quite all right. Your arm is fighting you, obviously. Oh, hey, check this out. Brickhead Brad says the dome is a heater.
A heater. For sure.
I agree. I love these windows on the side, VMAC.
The stained glass one?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
See, I like so before, right? We were
Yeah.
using the little fences.
If they're lit, it would show up better. But
Yeah, you can still get some of the
You'll
sensor.
get
There's
there.
the Pokeball. You can definitely see the Pokeball.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, using the little fences for the little windows, and then like one of those big grill plates.
I like the
For the bigger
flying.
ones.
I like the flying buttresses made of brick separators. Oh, I guess they're not flying buttresses.
they're more like where a
They're-
cross would be in a Christian church.
Gotcha. They're not load bearing,
No,
No,
and that's not a flying buttress anyway. That would be on the outside.
no.
Ignore me.
yeah.
like they're like stapled in there or nailed in there with big gold decorative hangers of some variety.
Dear Lord, this is getting real sacrilegious, but whatever.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, then you're definitely achieving that. Like that's what I'm going for.
Mm.
One thing I'll say about the structure of the outside, and this is a critique, and I apologize.
No, I want to be.
I think it go with like a little bit more architectural detail. Right now, it seems a little simple. I like the details you've added. You're definitely going for more detail. But if you want it to be a serious build about a non-serious theme, which is like kind of like Ben and my groups, that's our DNA for everything that we've ever created for a collaborative build.
Yeah.
I would say just like maybe revisit a couple of those corners. Polish out those edges a little bit more. Get a little bit more detail in all those flat surfaces you see there. But my favorite part,
like the sides.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, definitely. But if you here's a perfect example, and it's just one example. It's just like looking at like actual details, and what they're doing is those two, like the 1x1 with the side tooth plate. I am not making balloons, damn it! I am trying to show them those two. That on either side of the brown windows. Yes, those exactly. Just architecturally, they're not really doing anything, right? So it's like, what would that detail actually be if this was part of a Gothic church? And like, what would a Gothic church windows look like? I don't necessarily think that those would be there. However, what is nice about them, I'm not making a thumbs up there. Damn it. They could look like shields. They could be shields. It's just that there would need to be something else, like kind of like tying all of them together. And just think about things like that. That's one suggestion. And I may be completely effing wrong, but I mean, just like, I would say take a look at some Gothic churches and just see if there's other things you could, because if you turn it towards the front again, don't drink the Kool-Aid. The spires are fantastic. Like that's the sort of thing you would see on a Gothic church. And then when you get to the top of those, the two towers that are outside, it just switches to a flat surface past the spires, where those would most likely come out first. And there would be more, or like something more ornate happening past those. You're talking to a pretentious asshole who has an art history degree. Art history? No, I do not. But I took a lot of art history classes because I had to. And so this is the type of thing that I look for.
You're saying the whole sides are too flat?
So if you look at like that, a little bit, but if you look at the front, like if you see where you have that, like the 1x2x6 arch with the half round window in it, off to the right,
And above the owl, right there.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. So above those spires, those beautiful spire details that you have, the walls suddenly go back in, and usually there'd be something more ornate happening over the arch, and instead of the ornamentation ending on the sides of the window. But that being said, I'm being nitpicky now. Just to give you like something. This is constructive criticism, so I hope you don't feel like I'm okay.
Yeah, so where transitions.
Piece.
Yeah.
So you'd have to like brick build that instead of using the molded piece.
Or even if you brought the arch out one, out one plate, or out one stud. Yeah.
When you go up above, where it switches from tan to gray, if there was some sort of decorative bordering around that, that could really set it off too. Just something so that it isn't quite as straight, as they were big fans in the Gothic world of adding a lot of detail right before a big roof piece starts. They had these other things too. Mark had said flying buttresses, where they have like these things that come off the side of the building that are architectural details that they don't do anything.
Yeah.
But they just kind of make it look more Gothic.
This
For sure.
Well, I have an
This-
idea actually because I bought like 1,000 roller skates from Lug Bulk, thinking
there
I
you
could
go.
use them creatively in an architecture.
Sure.
For
I
sure.
could bring that whole thing out and do something.
Yeah.
with skates.
I would do that just with one side, see how you like it, and then do that to the other side. Again, it was like it's just as effective right now without it, but I think it'd be like more compelling if you did a little bit more Gothic-y stuff to it. Check this out, you guys. Someone named Old Man in the Bricks is here. That's a great name. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
The only other thing I would say, and this has got nothing to do
Where'd it go?
with
Just don't wanna
what you've built.
That's very polite. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, nothing to do with what you've built. However, just knowing the public like I do, they're going to see the colors on this, and the first thing they're going to say to you is that Harry Potter?
Potter. Yes, they
And
definitely
I'm like,
will.
hey,
Mhm.
the Notre Dame set are these colors as well. And
You're not wrong.
An oxidized copper roof would look like this, but that's what they're going to say. And you might be fine with that. I'm just telling you, you'll hear it a lot.
Yeah.
I've gotten that, and I've displayed my theater. I built it for Chicago, but I've displayed it other places. And there are 2 minifigures in the front that my kids wanted to be put on. One is Tails and one is Stitch. And I feel like I could just display those 2 minifigures and get the same reception as with the whole theater.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, oh my God, check this out, check this out. I'm like all excited, and they're like, it's Tails. It's like,
Favorite story ever of people just not understanding what I brought. Hey, EcoBuns Baby and Company's here. Hello to you as well. She's on our staff as the Positive Energy Administrator. Glad to see you here for sure. I went to Fort Wayne, I think 2018. 20's probably no, actually it was probably much earlier than that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I had like a monorail, an Art Deco sci-fi monorail city, and at the last minute I just grabbed a bucket of minifigures and just like threw in whatever. And so there were Star Wars figures, there was Harry Potter figures, there was Lord of the Rings figures. They were just kind of all around, and like it was really no certain theme. It was just supposed to be like a cool sci-fi Art Deco city. And my absolute favorite was this kid came up. He had to have been like 9, and he's looking at everything. They're trying to figure out what it is because they can't conceive that it's the original idea. It has to be Star Wars or something. Most people thought it was Star Wars. And I just sat there most of the weekend, internally going insane. I had a little bit more of a temper back then. And this kid looks at and he sees like one of the CMS, one of the Monster Fighter figures. And it's the creature from the Black Lagoon. He goes, that's look right there. This is Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm like, all right, buddy. Where in the 1950s did you see Creature from the Black Lagoon with all of its towering Art Deco skyscrapers and monorail? Yeah, fun times. I would definitely throw some Harry Potter figures on this just so they can like piss off and walk away. Not have to worry about what the joke is.
Just to troll them.
Because Harry and Hermione are actually the acolytes.
All right. Well, there you go. You're buying in, then. You don't care. You're in.
I would say that the problem you're going to have is when you try to explain that it's like their god is made of brick separators, and you're going to get the people who are like, "What's a brick separator?" Mm-hmm. And then you're going to be like, "I would rather be at the concession stand," and the concession stand in Fort Wayne is terrible.
Harsh but true.
All right. Well, we will definitely have to see an update on this once it's complete, and you got like 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a great place for that much time.
Yeah, I think it's much further along than you're leading on here. And I think a lot of the landscaping that you're saying is not done. At least the stuff like by the river, it looks good to me already.
And it's such a solid base that just finessing that stuff will be fine. It's like with the church is like the main piece of it and that beautiful river already. If the rock work back there with the tree isn't immaculate, no one's going to notice. It's just backdrop, But
I my tree behind the church. I think the main thing I want, just because of this is by far the biggest scale, other than like my city, but that's a bit garbage anyway. But so you're definitely going to have like the eye catchers. Obviously, that separator mech is pops, and then probably the church. But then I want everywhere somebody looks, there to be something to look at.
Yeah. Well, we never call our own stuff crap. Well, I mean, I do it all the time.
We call them
But
turds.
we'll not allow you to. That's right. We do call them turds. But
But that's not what it means.
what did that stand for again?
Totally unique, radical
design. That's right.
Yeah.
This is a turd, Vince. 100% turd.
And you can still polish it a little, but it's a turd regardless. It's a totally unique, radical design.
It's just going to be that tree, and I'll learn how to improve on trees later.
All right. Before we move on, Ben, favorite part?
The river.
Agreed.
100%. Love
My
the river.
favorite. My favorite part is the humor, by far. Ben, one thing you'd like to see improve?
You could definitely improve the tree with some of the things we talked about.
Yeah.
But that's up to you to decide. And I think that's the main thing is trying to stop stacking the leaves and find a way to hinge them in some fashion. And I think you'll see a lot more result.
I do have a ton of mitral joints, so I could probably do that.
Hell yes. Yeah. That's what I'm learning. Mixel joints save everything.
Yeah. And bar and clip of some variety. They have so many things now.
Oh my God. That was my entire day. Yeah.
So, yeah. Lots of good stuff.
All right. So are we on? Thank you for joining us and showing us your mock. We tell people, we haven't done so, I would say, in the last maybe couple months. But there are times we were begging for people to come on the show and show off a new mock. And like the first person we invited told us no. And bless this person's heart because they're an amazing builder. Just maybe a bit more shy than most people. But when you get to know this person, they're very funny, very personable. So I thought this person would be great for the stream. But they turned us down, and I felt rejected and made me very sad. So thank you for approaching me to see if we would let you on the stream. I mean, I can't really see anyone where we'd be like, I mean, Charlie Kaufman or Rob Claxton? Why on earth would I mix the two of them up? I think it's Rob Claxton. Who has the? This is terrible. I'm so sorry.
Rob Claxton.
It is Rob Claxton. Yeah, and we've seen it several times. And yeah, I mean,
every time too.
Even if you just want to send us pictures of your stuff, we'll bring them up on the stream. We love this. This is what this is all supposed to be about. This is supposed to be the brand of Think Outside the Blocks. Ben, are you ready to show? And Vince, you're sticking around, right?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Everybody, I'd much rather be critiqued now while I can fix it than at a show.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, exactly. And it does take a certain personality to be able to take critique. Not everybody can do it. So it's just like, and that's what I hope that we will provide for people on here who want to come on and join us is kind of a safe, constructive criticism environment.
Yeah, I feel like Vince is self-aware already. He knows what maybe needs a little work, and so we're just putting a little nudge in some of that, but a lot of it's good.
I actually thought it was good, so I'm glad that there's areas I can improve there.
Yeah, it's everything looks great as is, to be completely honest. It's just like Ben and I have certainly pushed. I made him rebuild an entire orc castle because I was just like, no, it should be beautiful, and then have decay coming outside. Yes. I'm not even sure I was right in the long run, but I do think it's a very cool. I do like the way it turned out. So Ben, are you ready? Are you showing us something this week, or were you too busy to build?
Oh, here we go.
Will we get a chunky match? Will we get computer tech? And orange spaceship so sleek? Does he hate castles this week? Does the new mech have a wicked team? Has the castle from last week been reshaped? Has he built 5 orcs and welcomes the Cerberus Daddy Ben? Yeah! Jump to 5 big!
Ben, you know what I just realized from being a guest on ACOB? I was thinking, like, we're bringing a guest on tonight. Someone's finally going to be able to, like, join us in the dance party in the green room. But when you're a guest, you can't see the hosts.
Whoa, that's no fun.
So Vince is not even sharing in the joy of you and I dancing to these songs. I just figured this out as he was all like slow slipping from a mug, and I was like, he's not dancing probably because he doesn't know we're dancing. Oh damn it, because he can't see us. And speaking of dancing, I'm gonna take a bathroom break while you introduce your mock. Sorry, buddy.
All right, that's fine. So here we are. We have some more build up of the castle that we're working on here. Kind of the bigger highlights is I got one of the doors in back in there, and then this is not going to be visible at all, but then you can see where it's going to come out back up on the top to sort of start on the path. I did some work on a couple of the sides here to add some more rock work. Right now, I would say I'm struggling a little bit on the rock work to the extent that a lot of it is still very vertical base built. I've got in a couple of these, kind of crooked bits here to break it up a little bit, but it's still a lot of brick stacking. I haven't got a lot of hinging in here yet, but a lot of that is because it's broken up to the extent I can with some vines and some other stuff, so I can get some height before I try to fancy up the rock work a little when it's a little higher and it's going to be, more in people's eye. I also think wherever the path leads around, since I'm going to put this on a turntable, I want, the path area to be interesting. So kind of this lower base level is not going to be as exciting or deserving of as much attention. So made a little progress there in terms of working on the rocks and some of the build stuff. I also got some structure in here now. It's kind of boring, but you need structure on the inside. So there's some structure here for when I get up a little taller. I'll turn. You can, of course, interrupt me whenever you want while I'm turning this.
I will let VMAC Attack start as our guest. You go ahead and you critique first, please.
So I need a mountain built back here. You want to come over?
Yeah, sure. Studio's always open.
I don't really have much where I would improve. So, like these type of things are already beyond my skill set. So I don't know if it's just the lighting tones, but that I don't know the color. The swamp green seems a little heavy to me.
Okay.
Olive, yeah.
Olive,
yeah. Maybe just some brighter mixed in sparsely to break it up a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, as far as the shape and it flows visually, it flows like that's great. I think it just needs a little more pop with the green.
Okay. Yeah, and I saw today when I was at the Lego store, they have a Ninjago temple of some sort that's using the sand green as opposed to the olive green mixed in as well. I don't know how that'll look, but it is a brighter green. I might try to add some of that as well. I'll have to see if that makes it muddy, or if it does do some of what you're saying with kind of brightening it up here and there. The other thing I can do, which I will do, is you can see I've got some stumps here for some trees, and the trees will have a different color leaf than the olive green. I'm not sure what color yet. I don't know if I'll do autumnal colors or some other color. But what do you think would work best? You want something that looks like fall or something more summery, or what would kind of feel the vibe on this?
Fall is more. I mean, if you're going for a more, I don't want to say like spooky because that's just Halloween and stuff. But like if you're going for a more like a darker theme, like you're gonna have torture and murder going on in there, or if it's supposed to be we're all drinking out of the barrels full of ale,
Yeah,
being fun, then you want somber tones. It's my personal opinion. I just things you can capture in a snapshot that give off vibes. I was telling Sarah the other day, like if you see one cross, you think like church, but if you see a field of crosses, you think death. Like, so like
That's a
anything
great point.
After that one in a snapshot,
Yeah.
already gives the vibe.
I would say, Ben, just in the question you're asking, when you were talking about Vince's use of mixing greens,
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever noticed. Do you have trouble mixing greens?
I do. I am bad at it. And this color,
Olive.
the olive green and the dark tan work well together.
Yeah.
But trying to get other greens to work well together, I am not good at.
Yeah.
And I do think that that's something I need to work on. Like if I put some sand green in here, I have a feeling it's going to stick out and I'm not going to like it. There might be a way to transition better, or to get some other shade of green that's going to complement better. I don't know, but it is definitely something I need to work on for sure. Green shading, I'm not great at.
I'm very happy to hear that you're going to challenge yourself on this because it's something I never noticed, and it gives you something to work towards. Just a quick disclaimer. Yeah, sorry to confuse you guys. We are talking about color. What we don't talk about color in is we don't talk about color in lifestyle shots. And a set that nobody's seen, a set that hasn't been released yet, because Ben and I have gotten in several discussions. One of which made me lose 2 maple poly bags betting that a color was not actually transparent. But yeah, we talk about color all the time, unless we're looking at lifestyle shots. Sorry to confuse everyone. This question, will you be adding lights to this? Will this be a World of Lights Marvel?
That wasn't my initial thought. I haven't done a lot of that with Castle.
Doesn't look like it can be, unless you add some torches or candles or...
I mean, I think you could. I mean, especially if I start working for Funhole. I mean, I'll probably have lots of them. I don't know, right?
Well, maybe you should prove it. Prove it instead of just saying maybe.
Who knows? Maybe. I'll just have to buy more Funhole sets and use their lighting pieces. I don't know.
What is happening?
But no, there wasn't an initial conception of lighting it. However, I do think that's a good idea. And I have lit plenty of other MOCs in the past, so it's not like I'm new to it.
You do.
I just haven't typically done it on Castle builds, but
Correct.
That doesn't mean I shouldn't.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Sky is going to bed.
Good night, Sky.
We have a request for a waterfall coming out of the rockwork. I have a request for a swamp. It doesn't look like I'm getting it.
Well, this is only one of several Castle-y builds I'm going to be doing on round basis. So there are certainly opportunities for swamps or waterfalls or other things. Sort of one of the concepts though we talked about with this is this castle sort of going to be a greatest hits sort of. Yeah. What I kind of want to do is push out like all my love for what I have done into one MOC that I feel is complete, and then move on to build some stuff that's different, maybe still castle but different. So that's what I'm going for here, and sort of kind of this pathway idea is borrowing heavily from the Black Falcon monastery-ish thing that I built before.
If you're
part of what's in this.
If your MOC card for this does not say pushing out all my love, I will be very disappointed. Can you turn that back towards me, please? No. The angle you just had it at, please, and thank you. So I know that you do incremental rock work. I'm sure this is going to look much more amazing next week. But in the meantime, I do have to say this. The medium nougat dark orange little landing, yes. Right above that, you have the same, yes. I had a pair of corduroy pants that looked exactly like that. So Brick Dad Builds brings up the point that greens are also seasonal. Variations happen. Muddy is reality at times. Oh, that's rather poetic. We should not be surprised after we heard the song that he wrote tonight. Patrick Bavier, our good buddy, is back. Hello, Patrick. He says, use dark green and olive green together. Nice complementing colors. Hey. Okay. Now you even have a start. You got a little cheat sheet from Patrick there.
I got a cheat sheet from Patrick, and I do have some dark green that I can toss on here. And I will say, so this part here, right, is a different piece, and you can see I did use it several times. And the big reason here that I did this.
Yes. Don't look at that yet. Keep going. Well, you were saying something.
So part of this is when I'm working on it here, this does need to have a certain height to fulfill my vision, and because of that, like these slopes are sloping too fast. So this is part of it that's breaking it up. It's still a sloped piece.
Okay.
But it's done in snot technique, and I figure this is okay for two reasons. One, I can do some foliage work here, and part of it will be covered by the tree from this stump here. But it'll help get me some of the height without having to just keep stacking bricks that are going to go in too fast or making it go straight up.
Perfect. Now, this comment. 3rd grade, we watched it wasn't a film strip. It was an actual, like, they brought in the reel with the projector. It was like a special day, and it was about how castles were built. And I will never forget this image. I'm 8 years old, right? 3rd grade. And they explained why towers were so tall and that, like, they were toilets that went into the moat. I will never forget the cartoon where they showed the naked butt and everyone giggled, like, sitting on, like, the toilet seat. And then they panned down to the bottom of the tower and showed, like, turds fall, like cartoon turds, of course. But so the question from Brickhead Brad is, are you going to do that? Are you going to make that hilarious video hilarious film I saw in 1983 when I was 8?
So that has been done in Lego on the Lion Knight's castle, as a matter of fact. They have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I kind of feel like it's already done.
Historically accurate.
Yep, but I don't want to overplay my hand on that here.
Yeah, good call. Brickdad Build says, I come on the live, but y'all roasted me for my rock work. Did we roast Vince for his rock work? Did we? Did we roast Vince for anything?
No.
Sir?
There's no roasting.
How dare you?
If you come on and you say, hey, I can't tree, we'll tell you some stuff about how we do trees, but we're not the kings of trees. There are people who are way better than either of us.
What'd you say, Vince? We had our audio cut out ears.
Yeah.
Roasting's fine. It's fun banter. Just don't want to be mean about it.
Yeah.
I don't think we're mean.
Occasionally
to each other.
Occasionally a little bit more mean to Ben. Like I said, I had a pair of corduroy pants like that in high school. Like, I said that. I did.
It doesn't bother me, though. And quite honestly,
he likes it.
With Mark and I know what he's going to say a lot of times. He knows what I'm going to say. It's nice to have someone new on where we can, express some of the things that I know Mark's going to see in my build before I even get to it.
And we can prove that we are capable of caring about other people's feelings and being actually constructive instead of being jackasses to each other like we normally are. So it really does help kind of like show what we want to show on this. Not like we think you're delicate, Vince.
Vince, you're making us better people. That's
you
what
are.
I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think those were the words that came out of my mouth. Were they not?
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it on replay. I don't know.
So here we go.
Here we go.
We're still moving ahead, slowly but surely. And some of the spots where you said, "Hey, that rockwork looks kind of boring." Well, you can kind of see it's layered and covered now. So
I knew it would. But I had to say it. Well, and I like to poke you on rockwork because you're better at it than me, and I'm trying to get better at it. And so I want to hear your thought process.
That's all that happens with Castle. And I've said this: you need a couple rocks, a tree, and then a gray wall, right? So I'm working on the rocks and the trees, and then I got to add the gray wall, and I should be done.
Brickdad Build says I can't rock because I'm on a budget. Retirement ain't easy, and he's got kids. But you know what? If you come to Brickworld Grand Rapids, we're actually going to do a garage sale there. So if you're not already displaying, anybody displaying can be part of it. You can sell, you can buy, whatever. If you already got your badge, if you have your weekend badge, if you're public and you're buying a weekend badge, you can come out and join the garage sale and purchase. If you are not part of the show at this point, then you can pay $5 at the door to come in and buy from the garage sale. If you'd like to sell at the garage sale, please hit us up, contact us at brickworld.com, and we will tell you the process you need to go through to sell at the garage sale at Grand Rapids. It's invite only. So contact us and ask for an invite if you really want to do it. Yeah.
I thought you weren't calling it the garage sale. I thought
right. It's called Brickworld Marketplace because Matt Husband didn't like the term garage sale. And I was like, well, you know what they usually do at expos at these venues is rummage sale. And he's like, rummage sale is for like grandma's old Afghan. And I was like, okay.
Well, Matt Husband threw down, and I'm not saying Matt Husband's wrong.
Not
I
either.
just know it had a term that you used, and I was surprised you weren't using it because you are a branding, hyper branding aware person.
I am, but I'm tired.
Okay.
Yeah. Hyper about it if I can see it. If I'm talking about it and live stream brain, I'll just run right over and say whatever. That's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're at an hour 15, and we still got to get to Closet of Shame. So I think maybe it's time for Mark's build.
We've got a lot to do, actually.
I
did some intricate stuff for our fun times. I'm glad Vince is going to be here for this because it'll help having other people guess. Are you going to play me? Are you going to play me in?
I'm going to play you in. So let's welcome Mark to the stage. Here we go.
Mark's an otter, watch him splash, building art deco, leaves and grass, keeping fab, you land on streams, making Mark's fulfilling dreams. No need breaks when his builds are up, only cheers and howls from his club. So let's get pumped for this Scorpio. Mark's creations are on the show.
Honestly, Ben, the best song out of any song we have to dance to.
Yeah, I will tell you right now. You told us that we can't see Vince, or Vince can't see us. We can see Vince.
We can.
Vince was getting down to that song.
Nice. I didn't notice because I was getting the hell down myself. Hey!
Will any of my build be cantilevered out? Yes,
What?
there will be some of that.
Oh, that word.
That's part of this as it goes up. All right, so here we go.
Nice. Glad you'll be there. I said nice to Brick Dad Build's comment, not my own mock. Just putting it on the record.
Well, I know what the big change is here, but Vince, what do you see that's different in this mock?
There's less orgy. Something's missing.
Less orgy. There we go. Yeah, something is missing. Working on it.
Yeah, the tree. Fear where that police bulldogs lane had copper water on it before, didn't it? Or no?
No.
No, but
Nice.
the big addition here would have to be the roof, which is which is now started and it's dark bluish gray. So that's I think where we can start. Mark's already making a smiley face there. Like,
No, that's more of a, what do you think?
he's uncomfortable. I don't know that I would have picked that color because of the rock work.
I know. That's where I'm worried as well.
Okay.
What color would you have picked?
Woof.
Dark
That's a hard one.
Dark red?
Like
Dark red.
Like so, do dark red, but then do like bars to make the creations in the roof of a different color.
Yeah,
One thing I
complementary
did with
color
my
might be a good
Ninjago
idea.
thing,
Well, the
what's
compliments
really good to go to roofs is the upside down tank tracks.
Okay.
I
Okay.
go get one.
So complimentary would be orange or yellow.
Ooh, we don't do yellow.
I'm not doing orange on this, so this would be dark red. Thoughts?
Okay. I'm not super thrilled with that. I feel like if you went dark blue, it's going to be too matchy to the windows.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that the dark gray does kind of make it look like it's built out of the same stone from below. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea.
Oh, Vince, here. Here's dark red with it. What do you think?
Yeah, but do like some type of where you get the vertical striations with it. So this is
Look at this.
for my
Oh, yeah.
I did a lot of this, which
Oh, that's awesome.
and I think it gives that look.
Yeah, it does.
So you need these, not necessarily do this, but
I have a
where you
lot
have
of them.
Like the dark red could be down here, and then you put something like the bars
Oh, okay.
to get the layers.
Could be interesting. We have some other color suggestions. If you don't use the track thing, we've got a suggestion of light azure. I don't know if you've got the pieces for that. And then Patrick throws out a dark orange or dark tan. I didn't actually mind the dark tan when you had it up there.
Yeah, and that's the some of the pictures I've used for inspiration have dark tan.
Okay.
I don't mind that either. The dark gray did bother me for that, so I initially wanted to do black.
Okay.
Nope. Looks like water. What was the other dark? They said dark
orange. Dark orange.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay.
The problem with using black was the party barge of the dead. My black is just like completely.
You haven't taken that apart yet?
I've taken it apart, but it's all in a bin that's like not in this room or even on this floor. Right, here's dark orange. I guess it's a little bit harder to see, but if I did,
Okay.
all right.
I definitely like the dark tan better.
I actually didn't mind the dark tan.
Yeah.
I don't think I have these pieces in dark tan.
Enough of that, yeah. And it's really the only issue with the black that it's all in the bin of shame. The bin of taking part that you have
pretty much.
Yet. Okay.
I really
Right,
think it's its own color, and you could stick with the gray. Just have a base color underneath.
Yeah. Maybe it's dark orange. What do you think of the dark orange there? I'm not crazy about it from what I'm seeing.
I don't love it. I like the dark tan best.
The dark tan was pretty good. I think dark tan with black would be nice. I think if I did, I'm trying to think of it because I used all this bread loaf piece for this instead of tank tracks. I did the ribbing with the bread loaf piece. Keep getting in the way of my own light. Let me move this so I can see my pieces over here. It does look like I have more dark tan than I thought, at least with the wedge plates.
Yeah, there are a lot of wedge plates on that color. I don't know about bread loaf. If you're sticking with that technique, doesn't mean you have to, obviously.
Doesn't mean I have to.
I know I have a lot of the bread loaf piece in light bluish gray because it's been popular to use that on top of combinations for castles and things recently.
I have that piece in like, because I own Brickworld, we ordered a bunch for goodie bag parts, and so I have it in like dark bluish gray. I have it in turquoise. I have it in a lot of colors, but like not dark tan. Because to be honest, like the color I've liked best so far has been the dark tan. It's just dark. Yeah, I mean, I think that really. And if I highlight that with some more browns, it'll make it look more like a pagoda house, and using a completely different material than the stone. So if I find an appropriate color to use, that's going to be a lot of rebuilding. That's going to be probably some redesign. In the meantime, thoughts on the shape of the roof?
I really you can tell that there is layers and undulation in it. It's just being one color, you really have to look for it. But the overall design really does work. It gives you that vibe of that shape.
Yeah. I think what bothers me in real life and it bothers me on the screen is that I haven't mathed it correctly enough to get this gap to close, and you can't really see what's going on, especially on screen. You can kind of see it in person, but this either needs to come higher so that it can bend lower, so this can drop down lower, for this to look like it's actually part of the roof. Because especially on screen right now, this looks like it's just some sort of open maw. Mark's what?
You can fix it in post.
Mark's flexing tonight because I own Brickworld. When I felt guilty saying it because I get access to come on, that made me feel bad.
Have you thought about just covering it up? Like a lot of the pagoda roofs have like those elf shoe corners,
Those what shoe corners?
like
Elf
elf
shoe.
shoes. Like they whoop. You
Yeah,
just put something over top of it that whoops, and then you won't even see it.
I have considered that. actually, I have. I mean, let's see what happens if I do it with this particular shape. And it's funny, I'm looking at this entire bin right now of dark tan slopes. I'm sorry, wedge plates and regular plates. I don't see a 4x4 wedge plate in here anywhere. I see some 3x3s, so maybe I just work with a different angle.
Yeah.
If I took this out, wow, it's really in there. I just pulled the entire thing out with that. Hold on. Go back where you were. I just collapsed the roof. Fun. All right, so if I took that out, would they meet up? I mean, of course they would. And then it leaves a big gap right there. It's
Yeah, I mean, there's a suggestion. Brick Dad says, what if the corners were flat built and layered? I mean, you could try that as well.
no.
That's not horrible there, but it, yeah, it doesn't match the. Yeah, you can always go over top. That's always an attempt with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot.
Yeah, not happy. No. Because it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think like, oh, I can go over something, but I mean, I think these plates would have to be smaller for me to go over it. And this just came. Sorry, I keep popping into the mic here.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I
slapping
mean,
at myself.
honestly, I didn't
Mhm.
mind the technique, or really even necessarily the build up underneath. I think you can figure that out.
Yeah, I
to me,
think-
it was more the color.
I do have to say, I based this off of the new Ninjago set, or Monkey Kid, like with these types of roofs.
Okay.
Now, obviously, I can't do the exact same thing in this configuration, but just like the basic idea of it, I did look to see like, well, how'd they do this? And it did unlock my brain to be like, okay, it is possible. How do I do it with this? And that's why the math is not adding up, because I just kind of looked at the basic concept and said, okay, run with it and don't look at it again. I guess I could look back at the math of the actual existing set. I've run out of blue windows to complete this section of it. I don't like the way it looks on screen though, because it looks like there's just one giant wall of doors. So I'll probably change that as well. But I mean, there would be some kind of roof here. Obviously, it wouldn't block the window, but that would at least break that up for there to be a circular window above it. We don't need these screens on the first floor, because one of the things that I've been worried about is I've got so many gaps in here that I'm like, oh, how would I ever light this? Well, what does it matter? Those aren't transparent windows; they're opaque. So maybe the second floor has some different window style for me to be able to light this.
Yeah.
And then I can light the waterfalls and some of this other stuff out here. But yeah, I did some building work this week, like some pagoda house instead of rock work.
Yeah.
I said, I'm like, let's give this a break. Let's give the rock work a break, because I'm just going to detail it to death, and had a lot of fun doing the architecture. All of this, was going to have to be taken apart anyway, because this is all just kind of temporary. There's no load-bearing beams underneath here for me to be able to keep building it this way. I crushed this entire section trying to push something down. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see something built and see that the shape that I'm going for is possible, I guess. But yeah, we'll see what actually happens. I wasn't crazy about the color either. I mean, I knew that dark gray, I had a lot of the pieces that I wanted to use in that color. So if I do switch to dark tan, we'll see what it actually ends up looking like. Because I don't think I have that piece. I don't think I have the bread loaf piece in dark tan. I don't even know if they make it in dark tan. Yeah, that's what I copied.
Yeah. So this idea.
Yeah.
They definitely have a much thinner piece underneath.
Yeah.
And it is as Brick Dad build suggests, kind of flat built, and then it's layered. In this case, they're using a slope. And then on the very end, they have, some sort of decorative element. So that's kind of how they achieved that.
So actually, the thing I have between those two, between each roof section, like on the 45-degree angle, same width. So, it just doesn't meet up correctly.
Yeah. So there you go. That's
where I'm at.
That's the Lego attempt at the same thing.
I mean, she's happy.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I think whether or not you keep this technique, I like the technique. For me, it's just the color, but
it needs to be finessed. It needs to be finessed quite a bit. Yeah, I didn't mind the color because I didn't want it to pull away from the color scheme of the house. I think dark tan does that too.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be, I don't even know the actual architectural term for it, but the Lego term would be like the double convex slope on the corners. It doesn't need to be. I can keep it like a shed roof and not folded in envelope roof, I think is what they typically call it in architecture. I can make it fold in instead. I can make it a shed roof instead.
Hey, whatever makes you happy, man.
We'll see. If I knew what made me happy, man, it'd be a very different life.
I know it's because you haven't completed that top bit, but when I saw it last week, that like gives off crescent moon vibes, and I actually think a crescent moon vibe works with the architecture and colors you've gone with. So, I wouldn't say don't incorporate that. Like if you have a way to incorporate a crescent moon, it actually, I love it with that. Everything about that MOC.
I think that arch just fell off. So happy accident, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I would.
Yikes.
That's
a great suggestion.
I really like that idea.
Me too.
I kind of like the idea if you could somehow add a crescent moon and then a different color for like part of the backing where the window's missing or whatever. I don't know. There's just some interesting ideas there.
Let's say, give me a second here, because I think I have at least around dark blue thing.
Something. A dark blue thingy, everybody.
Yeah, it's coming. Live building. I was if you want to chat amongst yourselves about anything while
looks like a little nibble taken out of the window almost. Is sort of the idea there.
Nibble would be the idea.
A little nibble.
I mean, well, sorry. So, for lack of finding what I know they make, and if I have it or not, it wouldn't be this small, but it would be something like this.
Something like that, yeah.
Something to cover up.
Some sort of curvature piece, yeah.
Just double stack offset like on the sci-fi space 4-piece like poster thing. They take two of the 8 round and just offset them by a stud, and it makes a big crescent moon.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you could get like a 6x6 plate in there instead,
would be perfect. Yeah,
it would be perfect.
Do they make it in dark
dish
blue?
Even? I don't know.
All right, let's move on to the next segment while I check.
Let's do that. Let's talk some closet of shame. Which is always something we do every time that we have a special guest. Mark's just trying to undo what I'm doing here. And of course, let's be clear about what the closet of shame is. Let's set the ground rules. Closet of shame, there's nothing shameful about the specific thing you've purchased that's in your closet.
No.
The issue is that you have a whole closet full of Lego sets you'll never build. We like to call this closet, this repository, this retirement fund that you know is not actually going to let you retire, your closet of shame. And so we don't have a song for Closet of Shame, Mark, but I feel like we need one.
I think you're right.
Until we get there, we like to find out what our special guests have in their Closet of Shame to get to know them a little better.
Good point.
So I want to know today, what is in VMAX's Closet of Shame?
Oh, we're making them start?
Should we, or do you want to start yourself?
I'll start myself. I don't want to put him on the spot like that. That feels rude. So I brought this.
Sarah also loves the moon idea. Vince is on fire with that half moon idea. All right, what you got? Aha!
Yeah.
The mini Disney picture frames.
Of course, I'm never going to build this in the first place, but like, I buy sets for parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have I parted this out? No. How did this end up in my collection? Why on earth would any self-respecting human being actually buy this?
Pieces too.
1,000.
Yeah, it probably wasn't super cheap, was it?
So, yeah, it was. It was 40% off.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's in your closet of shame.
That's why it's in my closet of shame. Now, has it sat there ever since I found it for that? What self-respecting human being named Mark would buy that is what I meant, Sarah Rossett. So I went into Target with Matt Husband, and I was trying to, we were in St. Louis for some family tragedy, or it was on sale. See, that's why you buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to do an ACOB video because I'm trying to like post more shorts and don't really have any content for it. Some of our content, Ben, is not easy to like boil down to 1 minute.
I know.
Yeah. So I was like, let's just do some Target clearance videos. And so we went to Target. I like turned the phone on. We went down the toy aisle, and all the clearance stuff was already gone. There was some really great deals, but the shelves were empty.
They were too great a deal.
This was there.
Yeah.
And it was 40% off. And I was on the video, I believe I do say, I'm like, I use all these pieces. I'm using this like this bread loaf piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and it has tiles, it has rounded tiles. I use those all the time. Colorful plates, all true things. But it has sat in the closet of shame ever since then. Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Maybe we have a theme going on because my closet of shame is kind of similar. This is what I got in my closet of shame.
Oh, wait a minute.
Over here.
I got you.
I knew you did.
It's a mosaic theme?
The Lego and Target. This thing's getting all flipped around here. The art project. This was part of the Lego and Target
all right.
Collaboration.
Vince, I don't know about you. I'm going to accuse this guy of using AI to create a set that never existed because I have never seen that shit in my life.
That looks like the Bricklink designer box.
No,
right?
This was a Target exclusive for the Target times Lego building thing that they had going on, and it is just these little mosaics, and they're one of those things where they're like you can build it together, and look at all the different things you could build. Plus, if you really wanted to, it appears you could build this big spaceman as well.
If you buy 4 of them. Iron Man one.
Is that what it was?
No, I think you can build that one.
Which is one?
Here, quite honestly.
4 of them to build the actual
right.
Iron Man.
Right.
I think you just need one, but I couldn't tell you that for sure. Based on the picture on the back of the box, I'm guessing that's probably true.
Do you think that was a good deal for Target? Do you think they'll collaborate with Lego in that way again?
I'm not sure because it seemed like some of the things they produced sold very well, but they didn't have it up for a very long time. But they had some plushies that sold out right away. They had some T-shirts that were very popular. They had like these large scaled up, like they had a minifig flag and some other things. There was some stuff that sold out instantly. And then there was other stuff that was more colorful that just stayed there forever. Yeah.
Well, I will defend you in this way. I will say if I were you, I would buy this too because there's a lot of 1x1 round tiles in it. Are you kidding? You use those in so many different ways. There seems to be a lot of orange.
1,138 pieces as well.
Yeah. And what did you pay for that? Did you pay full price, Jones?
I don't think I did. I think I got it on sale. I think they were originally $100, I want to say.
It's not bad for 4,000 pieces.
Right. And I think I got it for like 30% off when they were trying to move these out. So $70 is still, not nothing.
Yeah,
But
well,
there are a lot of parts in this one. Lots of round parts.
I will tell you one thing. Brick Dad Bills is accusing you of being a Ukrainian kid who was invited to a Blockover's lifestyle shot and got the set for free.
No, this
Mhm.
was a real Lego thing.
Oh, it's got a T-Rex.
Got a
Papa Rex is
T-Rex.
sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shame here. I don't think. I think we've been doing pretty well at just reassuring each other so far that there's no shame in these sets that are in our closet. Let's see if Vince can do the same. Vince, what you got in your closet of shame there, buddy?
So my shame closet diminished really quickly after Brickworld Chicago because I was putting so much time and energy into building box, and I want to say it sucked the joy out of Lego, but I didn't just have the dumb, let's just have fun and build.
We go through it.
No pressure.
Oh,
So,
no, it's real.
I had the Artemis spaceship I got 2 days early because of VIP, and it sat there for 2 months before I even thought about building it. And the Santa McLaren, of course, I got that the day it came out.
Of course you did. Yes.
But so all those kind of things I built. What is left is this.
Okay.
Which I got at Brickworld Fort Wayne 2022.
Yeah.
For Skyla, because she wanted Grogu, or wherever he's at, so badly, and I was like, well, there's some usable parts in there, and I got this really cheap, $18 or something, and the individual just Grogu's at Brickworld were going for $12. I was like, well, okay, I'll take the parts, and she can have the Grogu, and we're good. And then she comes back with Sarah with a Grogu, so. So unopened,
Grogu, yeah.
no need to open it, and no parts that I've needed yet out of it to justify opening it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, sniped a Grogu.
It might just stay in the closet.
That's a badass set, and that's not a bad one to hang on to keep mint and sealed box to sell for her college education someday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there will be some attraction to having the Mando in there and Grogu.
I think so.
A Tusken Raider.
Yes.
In 2022, but now they're in every set.
Yeah, but in that special configuration, someone's going to have some nostalgia for that one for sure.
I think so. So you're saying that after Brickworld, your closet of shame diminished. You were doing the thing that we both do. You're short one piece. You go to Bricklink, you find it, you find out it's in a $500 set that's in your closet of shame. Okay, not $500, $100 set in your closet of shame, and you go in there and rip it apart to pull out one stupid piece that you have to search through 26 bags to find, and then the rest of it just stays in the box for 2 months.
Brickhead Brad, we're trying to make him feel better about this. He says, how many Mandos does everyone have? But Crystal says that would be her. She would want those 3 characters in one easy set. She would buy it from you 20 years from now.
For sure.
$500.
Hang on to it and meet Crystal at the garage sale, Brickworld 2045.
I actually don't usually go through sets for parts. I do the more shameful thing and cry as I take it off of a mock that I'm not going to be displaying.
Cannibalizing? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Same.
I don't know if that's more, but... yeah, she says she's already got this one, unfortunately. So you're gonna have to find another another Lego fan to sell it to.
Oops. Sorry. So no date 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Maybe Ando and Grogu will be in the divine separation.
Maybe they will. Good call. Good call. You got to stay positive.
Bunch of dead frogs.
Well, yeah.
Perfect. Please put that in there.
I think we need to talk a little Lego news. Since we're talking about sets that are out now, let's talk about what's coming out.
Okay.
I don't think we'll start with the Mark bangers because we know Mark is going to have some opinions on a couple things. Let's start with the one that I've heard maybe a lot of people are dragging, and maybe I'll join in. It would be this set.
Why?
The Ultimate Collector Series Burrow.
What's to drag about this?
Well, if I'm being honest.
Go ahead, please do.
When I look at this, it doesn't seem ramshackled enough to me. And I'm just kind of like, why do I want a UCS, the Burrow? I know they've done other Harry Potter UCS sets, don't get me wrong. But why this one?
Okay.
You know, it's the third version of it. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it does unhinge in the middle or unfold in the middle. Looks like you could probably even pull it into two separate pieces over here. But I kind of get it when I see it. For the people who are dragging it, I'm kind of like, maybe it is movie accurate. I don't know. It just doesn't look crazy enough to me. I don't know.
Well, as a parts pack,
Okay.
you would use every single piece in this.
Probably. Would I pay $250 for it though?
$259.99, isn't it?
$260? Oof.
I think so.
Let's see here. Let's look at the price on this bad boy. $259.99. You were right. For only 2,400 pieces. It looks more substantial than that, quite honestly. Looks like it would be more than 2,400 pieces, but that's what it is. So you're right. I mean, parts-wise.
BrickDad Builds confirms there are new connection styles. Can you bring back that first image of it from the front?
Oh, from the front.
Yeah. It looks tilty.
It's slightly tilty.
How do you accomplish that? That's pretty advanced, I think.
Slightly tilty. I'm not saying it's not slightly tilty. It just doesn't seem ramshackled enough, like I said. I don't know.
Especially after they just showed us the Nightmare Before Christmas. It's all cattywampus.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's it. I don't know.
We can do it. It does. It looks too refined for this. Like it doesn't look shit enough.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think that is the same criticism I lobbed at it when I saw it. And then I went back and I Googled some of the images of the Burrow, and I'm like, okay, it's actually not that far off from the movie version. But a lot of like the more concept art ones or some other stuff looked more like I remember the Burrow being a little more topsy-turvy and crazy looking than this one kind of turned out.
Almost. Like the chimney's too vertical. The chimney needs to be.
I don't know.
I swear, like it was a fire hazard.
Yeah, definitely not up to code.
Mm-hmm.
Let's check it out. Actually, let's see.
Wait for the Temu version; it will fall apart just looking at it. I mean, that's probably true. The suggestion for how it's done is with a Technic pin drop plate over an 8-stud distance. I mean, I can see the connector down in here for how it's connected. So it is tilted. It just seems like it should be more tilted. And maybe it's the angles of the pictures and people, when they get the set, will love it. I don't know.
Yeah, so let's take a look here just to see if your opinions are valid.
No, they're opinions. They're not valid.
Obviously. Yep. Okay.
I mean, that looks more run down, right? And it kind of looks like it's coming out at you. I don't know. It looks different. Is dark tan the right color? It kind of looks like it's two-tone on the top section, and they do have the beams going different directions like it does. It almost seems like they should have been a different color. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
It's falling forward more. Or maybe that's the angle, but in the film thing, it looks like it's kind of falling forward more.
Yeah. Some of it just looks too vertical. I don't know.
Okay.
It's kind of like, it's strange because they've kind of made the roof several different colors.
And
I think they've always stuck with the dark red roof as sort of the inspiration, except for the very top, which is apparently a different color on this one for some reason.
Okay.
In these other pictures, though, it doesn't really look like seems to be iconic across the Lego sets, so that's what color they are. But in this picture, they don't look so red. But well, I don't know.
The chimney's oriented wrong. That's the problem.
The other one, it's yeah.
It follows the roof line for the length of the longest part of the
For the-
chimney follows the
the
roof line.
cupola.
This way, it's
Yeah.
perpendicular to the roof.
It looks more square in this one, and rectangular in this one.
Yeah. I think it's just. I think it is the as VMAX says, the angle. I think it runs horizontally. It was perpendicular to the way they have it on here, but who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. That's I think why people are dragging it. To me, you're right though. The colors are right for me.
Yeah.
On sale, it would be a good parts pack, and I'm sure it's got figures that I could resell. Which is nice, but
Definitely that. Yeah. There's a lot of figures.
Yeah.
A lot of good play features inside.
Yeah, it's got a cute interior. It's got a bed that's all cattywampus in here, since that's the word of the day.
Apparently.
Got a fun little bathroom. So it has some cute stuff. Just, I don't know. Just didn't strike me when I saw it as like, yes, I need that, you know? So.
Yeah. Were you expecting to see images that would make you need it?
You know, I'll be honest, I've liked other versions of the burrow. And I've gotten them for some of the dark red pieces and some of the tan pieces. Not the tan, the nougat pieces. When I saw this one, I was kind of like, meh.
Okay.
Oh.
I would say the image from the movie looks more like monochromatic black and white.
And that maybe there are more movie images that.
Yeah.
We don't
So
know.
Brickhead Bread, I do not think they've done the Love Good House. Brick Dad Build says no, they have not. So we got two opinions on that.
I mean, the look in the film was probably more of like a director of photography saying, let's shoot this with more of a monochrome filter to make it look worse on purpose.
Okay.
If I had to guess.
I would say, because if that is the case, they went with a very different color scheme than is available in that one still that I found.
What's the book nerds out there? What's the book description of the colors of the house?
Actually, I don't know. I know the books better than I know the movies, and I don't necessarily. I know that it's like it looks like the house is falling over. Is like the basic thing. We're having a costume change here. But I wasn't necessarily understanding immediately what the pushback was on this set after I saw it, and then saw all this I saw all these YouTube videos of just like why this is the worst set, blah 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 blah. I don't think it's the worst.
It's not the worst, but it's one of those. Who's it for? Again, is it?
Who is it for?
Harry Potter stuff, you buy all the sets so you can put together the actual sized Hogwarts, or Diagon Alley was kind of neat, although I saw a really cool mock of that inside a city at one of the Brickworlds.
Oh yeah, Jim Marin does that.
Yeah.
Jim Marin's been part of the Tainted before, and it's so cute too because he actually hides it and he points it out. He talks to the kids all weekend, shows them where it is. I love exhibitors like that. I think maybe that's why they chose to do this UCS, because they've been so focusing on modularity to connect all the sets and make a bigger place, that this is one that is going to be separate from everything else because it's off on its own. So why not make it big and huge? I think kids will be excited by this.
But kids don't have the $300.
Their parents do. Parents certainly do.
I don't have the $300.
Right. While you guys continue to discuss why this set is so awful, I'm gonna hit the bathroom real quick. Sorry.
Oh, you do that. I don't think it's awful. I will say though that what I am surprised about is that it is just built up as sort of a you can play inside type design, because in the movie itself there is a battle at the burrow which includes a number of villains. that are also desirable characters, and they've kind of cut that out here. Like the action on this is playing on the inside and not recreating sort of, I would say, one of the more intriguing aspects. I will say I see something interesting here. It looks like the roof, the underside, is built out of stairs, the stair piece, with these bricks placed on top of them. You can sort of see the open center of the frame here, so that's kind of an interesting technique.
A really good technique.
So that's kind of interesting.
It's not a
Let's
bad
see.
set at all. It's just, it's not for me, and I don't see, it doesn't fit any of the other things they've made, really. I mean, the train, I guess, was also an out there. I get most of the sets are, you have some of the smaller ones that are like scenes, like Voldemort's grave and stuff like that, or the stuff in the woods. But the things of this size go with the castle, and this doesn't fit the scale of that because it's too big.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't necessarily look like a good shelf display. I think it is for kids, but priced for adults.
Honestly, this picture, it looks
It's
better.
solid design. It's a solid design, you guys. Like, I think it does make a good. It's better than like the Age of Ultron battle scene. Oh, sorry, Vince. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's a really good set. Like the people at Lego did it right. It's just this goes in. The people that have Lego cities that's just all modular buildings and no MOCs, like this goes with that.
Yeah, good call.
But it doesn't. It's a play set that's too. It's like the Hoth UCS.
I have to say, I do wonder.
It's all built for kids.
I do wonder why they didn't choose the battle scene. Why they went with the Chamber of Secrets one. Maybe they wanted to get some of the younger characters in. Maybe they wanted something that was a little bit more peaceful. I don't know. Maybe they produced some of those villains too many times in other sets, and they wanted to get back to the younger characters.
Maybe.
But it is much more iconic in that Half-Blood Prince. I don't remember at this point. It's so close towards the end. Maybe that's the Deathly Hallows Part 1. But I'm sure someone in the chat will correct me. One of these Tainted knows. Would lighting it on fire help? Brickhead Brad wants to know. It might. It sounds like it would. Giving it some more action. But it does seem like this is meant to be more of a play piece or a play or display, not action oriented. And they don't have that conflict that they did in the last iteration of this. Papa Rex says, I have a child and usually $300, but not for this. So he does not want to spend $300 on this for his child. He wants to push him towards some other product in the Lego line, of course, is what he meant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's where you can put it.
Next to your
All your blown glass.
I
don't think anything here is a bong, VMAC. Come on.
Johann
Next-
Sebastian.
Next to your Conte Crayon monochromatic sketch of the Beatles that you did in college, Art 101, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah. Nice. I like the brick wall with the wainscoting.
Yeah. I don't think this is Bach down here. I think this is like a human with a brain sticking out of its head. I don't know.
Brick Dad Builds will be getting this. I think it's a Caesar.
Maybe it's Julius. I don't know.
Yeah. She has an LP. She has an LP collection.
What's in it?
I don't know. You can't tell because it's from the sides.
Yep.
You're not supposed to store them that way.
I know. She's hip though.
Do we have some graph paper up in here too? I don't know. Maybe it's
perhaps.
I think it's a box with a bunch of stripes on it, and who knows what's inside the box? Maybe a wand.
Brickhead Bread says, well, they could have made it open in the back, made it open in the back and slashed the price, but I like the closed building. Yeah, they could have. They definitely could have. I do think. I wonder what the 360 view looks like. And why is this the person who it's for? So this is who it's for.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how they've opened it up a little bit to make it look bigger?
Yeah, I actually think that this picture, it doesn't look as flat And you get a little more of a topsy-turvy feel to some degree from this angle.
Oh, you guys.
But just a
Well,
little.
and Vince, when Stud Sidious was on, he confirmed that they try to make the product look bigger than it is or at least they did when he worked there. Topsy-turvy. Are you guys British in the 1950s?
You've never used the term before?
I have, because there's a character from the Mr. Men series called Mr. Topsy-Turvy, which was written in the UK in the 1960s.
I wonder, it almost seems like we're speaking English, and this is a term that's come from English speakers. I don't know why. Who knows? Ramshackled, cattywampus, and topsy-turvy. That's what we want.
Makes sense.
That's
you know who else?
People want.
Ben, you know who else I do love having access to Stud Sedis's phone, even if we did hack it illegally. You know who else they thought this might be for?
I don't. Let me see. Let's see. A lot of people got into Harry Potter that were a little younger than me.
Yeah.
They're probably now in their mid-20s, though some people were still wickedly obsessed with Harry Potter who are now approaching 40. So if I had to guess, I would say it's probably 35-year-old dads. No, 35-year-olds with no children, because because they are the ones who are actually going to the theme parks and getting dressed up like the characters. I've heard Disney's primary audience now are Gen Zers with no kids, or millennials, old millennials with no kids.
Okay.
And old Gen Zers.
That is a damn good guess. VMAC, you have a guess about who else they might have tried to market this to? Who else would the Burrow be for?
So I think, when I was in college, Harry Potter was kind of, I don't say it's at its peak, but it was huge then.
Yeah, same.
So, there's always that one person from college that wants to host a butterbeer party. 15th recipe, and that's all bad. There's no good way to make it anyway.
Yes.
So it's probably a bunch of boiled over kettles, and stinks. But then this is the centerpiece of the table where you're getting served.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's definitely that's definitely what I thought it might be for. And I maybe the Lego group was also thinking that for their alternate lifestyle campaign. But I mean, that's very much what Harry Potter was for me as well, is that it was just anything. It was all anyone was talking about from 1999 to 2004. Probably pre, I would say, what was the fifth book called? It was the After Goblet of Fire was what? Anybody? What's that?
The Order of the Phoenix?
Yes, thank you. Order of the Phoenix. When that one came out, and there was such a long wait because the movies had started. Yeah, thank you, Cooper Copper Kayak. And then it was a bit of a disappointment because it started getting so dark and it started getting so straightforward, and the mysteries weren't quite so intricate. And so I think Dolores Umbridge was the bad guy in that one, and you knew it all along, that sort of thing. And so it was kind of it broke our Gen X hearts, right? And so here's what here's the other audience that the Lego group thought that this might appeal to.
Okay. Yep. Blind mole people with guitars and bowls made out of fruit. I'm digging it. They're digging it as well.
I think, I don't have the brief from this particular campaign, but I think because moles burrow, and this is the burrow, they were just maybe we have an audience here.
There you go. In the burrow. Yeah. I also see that this one is suggesting that you don't just need the burrow. You should also buy the fourth version of the Ford Anglia or whatever it is. Anglia. You got to get that one. Anglia. You got to get that one too.
Where did you find this picture of me? Says Brickhead Brad.
You can tell though that this is a hipster mole because he's got the flannel on,
The-
and he does have the bowl full of straws. We've seen that before too.
But they're
Yeah.
plastic straws. A proper hipster, I don't think, would have plastic straws, right? It'd have to be,
Well,
like, glass.
some of them do. They just reuse those. They collect them at restaurants and wash them out and reuse them.
I'm pretty sure they're just colorful paper.
Yeah,
'Cause that-
Papa Rex says so much to unpack here. I also have a guitar I never play.
Right?
Yeah. I do want to know about the fruit bowl of Lego, though. What do you think this signifies to Lego? What they're trying to tell us.
I wish I knew.
Yeah.
I think I'm sorry. I think perhaps they were like, well, what type of bowl would a mole have since they can't go to IKEA? They said, well, maybe he found a cored out melon and just that's where he keeps his loose Lego pieces to play.
So I think what I'm hearing you say
Mhm.
is that hollowed out melons are mole bowls.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm guessing because I can't have any idea how this picture got put together. I
Also
also
using
do
the
think
iPad, which is important for instructions.
he's blind, so there must be sort of when you use the iPad, you get some sort of like voice
Yeah, like
command. Yeah, it explains the picture that you're seeing. And as far as the flying forward anglia goes, I'm only going to guess that there was like something in his hands that wasn't appropriate for the picture that they had to Photoshop that flying forward anglia in.
I had to get that in there. All right.
Yeah, but I can't know for sure. I don't work for Lego.
It's true, you don't.
Yeah.
Well, this
Yeah, no,
is a good idea for an alternate campaign. I like it.
I don't think it was a great idea because moles can't purchase toys. What'd you say, Vince?
But I want to know what's structurally supporting that shelf with the books. The dirt?
Yeah, me too. Okay, sorry. Yeah. What? I don't know what jest and sarcasm is being referred to. So Brickhead Brad has moles in his yard and hates these creatures. I have had moles in my yard as well and also hate them. And that is not what their hands look like. That is not at all what their hands look like. Tree root studs. Oh, it's nice that they're level.
Could be.
Yep. He keeps telling us this.
Probably because the first time he said he had moles in his hard.
Yeah, we know what you meant.
But yeah, we got it.
Or maybe not. It could mean something else.
That's true. Yeah, but this is apparently something else that they were thinking of doing. But yeah, there we have it. That's the burrow. Do we have anything else to talk about?
We do. So what have we always ever since Mario came up and saying Mario needs to do?
Yes, they did.
Mario Kart.
No shit. And finally, these are pretty cool. Yes. And we got a golf clap there from Vince. Vince, what are your thoughts on these? I'm sure you saw these this week.
Yeah, I love it. Well, ever since they did the Bowser, I don't know if it was actually Mario Kart car, but I think it's in the new one, Mario Kart 8. The Bowser car with the big Bowser in it.
Yeah, people were all geeked out about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, yes, let's do this. Let's run with it. Like I don't like racing at all. Just let me go on the record. And state that I don't enjoy racing, but no, this is great. And I don't know how these are designed or built, but like if they add in, when you're playing Mario Kart, the new ones where you change the wheels or change the parachute and all that stuff, if they add that into it as a whole other level, it's like for me, I'm gonna geek out about it as a fan. But
yeah.
Like, for the play aspect of it, even like there's so many possibilities they can just run wild. I prefer this way over the game thing with the blockhead figures.
Yeah. But this is the blockhead figures. This is the point Cooper Copper Kayak is bringing up, that so many people were excited about this because they thought it was going to finally be like Super Mario minifigures, but they went with the blockhead size. But there are no QR codes in this, are there? This isn't part of the. There are, so they're sticking with the same thing. So Vince, with that in mind, Do you have the Super Mario sets?
I do not. I have
Okay.
Sonics.
Oh, right. Because they have minifigures.
Yes.
I'm curious if anyone in the Tainted who has kids has Super Mario sets, and do you play the game?
That's why I didn't get the sets, is because there's like they have the really cool poly bags with the different characters that are
Yeah.
almost minifig scale, but like you almost have to invest in this game to make it even work, and they don't work on a scale with anything else you have. There's no
Cooper
cross-
Copper Kayak. Cooper Copper Kayak likes the fact that the stud shooters now shoot the shells, which I also like as well. Brickhead Brad says you could do some awesome mocks with this. Yes. Brickhead Brad also says recreate your favorite track. This is not the only set. There's several sets, and they're actually all very good. I do wonder how this happened in like production committee, like how they decided to not go with minifigures. The banana peel is amazing, and how they decided to keep making it part of this game. I want to know more about this game. You know, like why is this something that works with just like someone having a phone and like clicking a QR code and it makes something else happen? Like I'm super confused.
I see 4 QR codes on here. We have one on each of the question mark boxes that you hit on the track. There's one over here in this what I assume is some sort of food cart. And then there's one over here for like this repair/start guy, because I can see down here there's a wrench, like there's some sort of repair aspect. I don't know, but he's also the guy who dangles on the cloud and flashes the lights to make you start.
Lakitu. Papa Rex says that he effing hates Lego Mario, but his 7-year-old loves it. So Papa, does your 7-year-old play the game? Like the actual, like, is there, what's the thing with the game? What does it do? Brickhead Brad says a huge rainbow road. Yes, and I can pull up some really good rainbow roads. Joellen is here. Hello, Joellen. We did when it first came out, but Logan lost interest pretty quickly. Interesting. What is it? What does it do?
And they also have the little stand over here for getting first through third. So
there's only 3 racers, so.
Right.
There's only 3 racers in this set VMAC attack. Because wouldn't you know, they've got more sets.
Is this the Toad? God, the pictures are very small, sir.
I will make this one bigger, just like I did the last one, if you calm down for 1 second. This is a Toad set of Toad bros fixing up the car here. Looks like you can switch the wheel colors. There are a couple QR codes on this as well over here by the shell.
Pit crew.
But here we got Toad pit crew. Oh, and a third one here on the car itself.
Yeah.
But here's a fourth design of a car. This one's like the F1 version. So I bet VMAX got some affinity for this one here.
It looks more like the Mach 5 in Mario Kart 8. The old F1 car is I believe it's a Mercedes in silver. But, sorry.
Yeah, this is.
Shut up, Troy.
No, that's okay. This apparently might be called the Toad Mod Shop.
I think this is where you take your car in the beginning of the game to like add new tires that you just like acquired. I love the horn. The horn is awesome. Who's Troy? Who's Troy in this situation, sir?
VMAC was suggesting I give him a shut up, Troy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was giving me a no, you're wrong. This isn't an F1 car. This is the V5 Super Trooper loser car. The Mach 5.
I was sitting right here and I missed it somehow.
To be fair to me, I said this one's more F1 like. That's all I said.
Either way, what's interesting to me about what they're doing with these figures is that they have minifigure arms on it. And I know that's one of the problems that they had with their patent when they were trying to defend it. And that's one of the reasons that they stopped doing like the initial Toy Story line. Again, I worked for Legoland at the time, so I know this. That's why they stopped doing like the Buzz molded head and like the Woody molded head. And like just when they came out with those characters again, they just had the regular minifig head. And so like they're messing with their patent. I don't know how many years the patent actually has left, and it's going to be a shit show when it expires because we see how many Blockleverse brands are out there that are they're gonna be all over it. Yeah, Funhole with their dumb bell heads.
Their jowl faces.
Jowl faces.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I don't know where the flames are coming from here. Maybe I think this is an older version of the game because you don't bring it to Toad's mod shop anymore if you ever did. Because you just do this in the game screen in the beginning. Add the new modifications. But again, I do love. Oh, it's from the movie. There's a Super Mario Kart movie.
There's a Toad's mod, like in the movie. Whenever they go to the Donkey Kong.
Oh, the Super Mario. Duh.
They have.
Oh, right.
This.
Ish.
I mean, that's what it's
ish.
Not the game.
They have this ish. Yeah. That's probably what they're doing.
Speaking of, what do we think of this one? We'll get to probably one of the better ones next. But before we get to that, these two Luigi and Mario heads are terrifying. This is like the battle version where you pop knock the balloons off people or whatever, right? I guess.
I love that. I love that part. I mean, I love that that mini game or whatever.
That type of game. But Luigi and Mario, are they not super terrifying in this picture?
This is the gayest thing I'll ever say on the stream. Ding dong, these are a doorbell. I love this. I think this is so...
So you do like them?
I do like them a lot.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, if this is what the characters look like, this is kind of like the... this is kind of the standard they've shown us for what the Mario Kart racers look like, and these are really cute in my opinion. Vince, what were you saying?
I don't know.
I'm just wondering if they're supposed to be the baby Mario and Luigi.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think they are the baby ones, which I think helps.
To scale them down without using minifigs and still using the style that they use. I don't know what else they could do with it, to be honest.
Yeah. The question is, will this compete with other Super Mario line toys, Mario Kart toys?
Are there a lot out there?
They did have racers from, Hot Wheels or some version. Probably wasn't actually Hot Wheels.
That's what I was imagining in my head.
Yeah, I mean, they do have that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of played out. I don't know that they're big anymore or if they ever were. But people have been clamoring for Mario Kart specifically from Lego ever since Mario first came out. They've wanted this.
And you guys, this is not 8-bit pixel Mario. No. Baby Mario and Baby Luigi were added to Mario Kart maybe just 6 or 7 years ago. Maybe in the last decade. So it's not, there's nothing 8-bit. This is not meant to be 8-bit. The balloon game was Mario Kart Deluxe.
OG. It's OG Mario Kart.
Oh, is it? So
Super Mario Kart.
I'm wrong.
There you go.
Sorry, but I don't think this is meant to be 8-bit. I don't think it is.
And that was Super was 32-bit?
It does because they have square ass faces, yeah.
Maybe because it's made out of square ass Legos. Lego. Sorry, I said Legos. Everyone.
You're fine. You're fine. We all do it.
Safe space.
Everything else is totally rounded. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that.
Okay, so here we go. We do have a DK build too.
Cute.
This one's cool. I really like this one. Of all the ones we've seen so far, this is my favorite.
Okay, you guys, I'm sorry.
Babies were in the GameCube version, Mark. But even that was not 8-bit. Anyway, so here we are. We've got the Donkey Kong in a barrel. We've got the shell shooters. We've got the adorable banana again. And I think DK works a lot better at this scale than some of the other character builds we've seen. Agreed.
Hopefully most of these parts are printed. They do look like it from this picture.
They... I think the one up on the eyes here is printed. I cannot tell about the one on the side here or the circle here. They look like they might be stickers, but I don't know that for sure. Who knows? Do we have
All
we
the-
don't talk about stickers banner?
No, because they're usually pretty easy to tell in the lifestyle shots, and none of the Animal Crossing sets have had stickers so far. So I think they're doing Nintendo's like, no, print our pieces. We're not stupid.
Yeah.
We know what's up.
Yeah.
No, stop.
Stop with the bits.
Wasn't
All
the GameCube after N64 which was 64-bit?
Yeah, wasn't that its whole deal?
We're 64-bit. Everything's still 64-bit.
I apologize for yelling. I did not mean to yell at the Tainted. My apology. My deepest apologies. Shut up.
Let's roll over to the last two Mario Kart ones.
Oh, Miss Labricta is here.
So here we do have the parachute glider thing. I guess it's the glider that VMAC was talking about here.
Yeah.
Got another race car like looking version here. This one's more of a tricked out go-kart.
Yeah. Ben,
There you go.
cue the Mario pirate chips.
For sure. That sale is awesome.
They're called Doom Chips, Mark.
Sorry. Well, I mean, just like in general, like mixing them. Mario, Mark, what was before the N64? Super Nintendo? I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
SNES. Yeah.
And the SNES and the regular and the NES. It's a whole system, folks.
And there's a new Switch coming out. Oh, sorry.
It's like the Wii U.
I know. It sounds like it will be. I wasn't allowed any video gaming console as a kid. So I really only started experiencing this in college. And that was the first PlayStation. No, these aren't like Nintendo confessions. Like these are like Nintendo therapy for Mark. Yeah, PlayStation was probably the first one that PlayStation was before N64. Duh. Wait, wasn't it the first PlayStation? Yeah.
At the same time.
They were probably at the same time.
Within months of each other, at least.
Yeah.
Oh, because Sony does PlayStation. Sorry.
But Sony was 32-bit, and N64 was 64-bit. It was a big thing.
There's a whole thing.
PS2 won the war of all wars, and no one sold a console for like 10 years while PS2 was online.
Right. I remember that.
There was a whole thing where Sony was supposed to team up with Nintendo to build a console or something, and
Yikes.
it ended up not happening, and that's how the PlayStation was born or something, or Sega was doing it. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Sega.
Point is, Sony wasn't intentionally in the battle for the console wars, and then they ended up winning it for a couple generations with PlayStation stuff. Okay, last but not least, we got this one.
I didn't see this one.
We're magnifying image? No, we're not magnifying image.
No, you're not allowed to.
There we go.
Wow. What are these? So why are all the QR codes on these floating blocks? Oh, those are the power-ups. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Took me a moment.
Blocks. Yep, and I don't know what you get when you scan them. I don't know what happens. But you scan them and something happens.
Presumably, you can only use the shell and banana if you get the power-up code that corresponds with that. However you play this game.
I don't know about that.
And you can launch the shell, of course, but the banana, you don't launch that. You just throw it behind you, right? You just kind of lay it down. So.
All right, so Cooper Copper Kayak. I use... What'd you say, Vince? Sorry.
If you hold up, you can throw it forward.
Yeah.
It's true.
Cooper Copper Kayak says, my favorite set, because I usually run the Yoshi bike when I play, I always use that teddy bear cart, because it's... Here I go again. Ding dong. It's a doorbell. Scan for buyer's remorse. Lego Team B suggests. Hello, Lego Team B, by the way.
So there we go. Turns out
This
Mario
is great.
Kart wasn't the only Nintendo Lego related thing that came up.
Oh?
There were two other sets, but I don't remember much about them.
I don't either. There's three sets for F's sake here.
Okay, I'll have to get the third one. But anyway.
Get off the stream.
Run
I got you.
because we have to talk about something called crossed up animals. So
I got you.
Animal.
No, you're... Hold on, there we
There's
go.
the first one. And yes, there is a third one that I don't have on here, but I'll get it.
There's a fourth one that hasn't been released yet. How come I can't find this? Is this? No.
I saw the other one because
How does that
there were
even
two
open?
there were 2 figures in it, and I don't have the other one with 2 figures in it. So I'm gonna grab that one here quick. But Mark, tell us about this thing.
What is happening? What thing?
This thing.
Okay, so this is Leaf and some squirrel. I don't know this character. But what's interesting about this, and what's interesting also about what they just released with the what's it called? I'm backtrack a little bit here. They came out with the resident services, right? And it was a big surprise to everybody that they had a pocket camp vehicle in it. It was KK Slider's RV, because that's from the app that you play on your phone. That's what an app is. And people were surprised because, you know, it's Animal Crossing, not Animal Crossing New Horizons. So they're doing all little parts of Animal Crossing. Well, guess what happened this week? Nintendo announced that they're going to discontinue supporting Pocket Camp in November. And in October, they're going to announce a replacement for it. So anyway, hopefully there'll be RVs in it. Hopefully they're taking it somewhere else. And that might be one of the indications why we're seeing the RVs. And this, again, is something that Leaf has in Pocket Camp, but he also has a version of it in New Horizons. Anyway, Leaf is one of the best characters. He sells you plants, he sells you flowers and shrub starters, and he's a sloth. So he's freaking adorable. This is a pretty good set. Like, I've had my complaints about the Animal Crossing sets. This is pretty straightforward. Has a car, has 2 minifigures, has a camper, has lots of accessories. This doesn't annoy the living crap out of me because it actually gives a full round representation of something that is actually in the game. Unlike the airport that is like 25% of a building, instead of like the typical, like, they may give you 50% where like the back's cut off. But like the airport, I'll do a review of that this week. We'll see what happens if I have time.
What do you think of the car color there? Is that turquoise?
I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
It does look like turquoise to me. What do you think it is, Vince?
We don't talk about color.
That's right, because it's a lifestyle shot.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, we don't talk about colors. Yeah, you got it. Vince, does your family play Animal Crossing?
Skylar does. She has New Horizons. I've kind of dabbled with her on it, but it's like one of my lesser known properties. But
It's a cozy game, so it might not be up your alley.
she enjoys it. I mean, I like Pokemon and stuff. I like RPGs. I like those kinds of styles of games. So I think I probably could get into it if I played it. I just honestly don't have time to play games.
Right, and this one kind of like punishes you if you don't play every day. It's not like The Sims where like you can log in and you pick up right where you left off. Like the calendar keeps going if you don't show up, and then like there's like certain let's just call them punishments. Like if you don't show up, then like you get roaches in your house and like your villagers want to move out and stuff like that. But I think this is a great set. I will get it just for the characters. That's what I've done with all of the Animal Crossing sets so far. I'm not too crazy about the designs of them, but this one looks actually solid to me, and it looks like a better design, like an all-around better design than some of the previous sets based on what's in the game.
All right.
Any thoughts from the Tainted on this, by the way? I haven't even looked.
It hasn't been a lot.
Oh, that's nice.
Vince is apparently colorblind, so that's fun.
So we really don't talk about colors.
Um,
Turn this banner off. It's annoying the crap out of me.
What colors again?
I don't know what banner you're talking about.
Yeah, neither. There it is. Got it.
Yeah, so then in addition to this, I also wonder, this part above the window, is this a new piece?
No, it's been around.
Okay.
I recognize it.
I recognize it as 3 different pieces all in one piece.
I think Vince, have you seen that piece?
Looks new to me.
No?
Maybe a Friends type piece.
Yeah, because I know there's been a 1x1 version of like the rounded over corner, And then the taller piece in the middle is this
I'll
piece, I think.
see if I can find it. I
It's
thought
just a plate connection on the one side, so it's just a plate and a brick. One of those.
Yeah, maybe. Or it's just connected in the middle by a stud knot on top connection, which is kind of my thought as to what it is. But here, oh, there it is. So it's been around a little bit. Mark did find it. What year was it first produced?
2023.
2023. So a newer part.
Yes, new to you.
Sure. New to me.
And that's okay. It's been in Nintendo sets. What do you know? And Disney.
And a couple of brand new sets there at the bottom that are 2024. So, yeah, not super popular. That isn't Asha's Cottage. I do have that set, though I haven't opened it. It's definitely in my closet.
Same. We have the same sets in our closet of shame.
We do. We're like besties.
We're like shame twins.
Shame twins. All right, here we go. Here's the next one. Here is Celeste's something. I don't know.
Full price Jones, day one. This set is effing amazing. No one's ever seen a better set than this, ever. That is one of the
Maple's Pumpkin Garden Part 2, right?
Hell yes. And we are going to have a bonus episode the day I get my hands on this, because that character is badass. One of my favorite, talk about a cozy game. And then you have this owl that visits only occasionally at night when they're shooting stars, and she talks to you about astronomy and astrology, and that gives you specific recipes to make beautiful furniture items for the for your island. One of which is that crescent moon chair right there. Hey, comes full circle. We're talking about crescent moons again, and they have the star piece for the first time. Like if you wish on a star, there's star fragments on your beach in the morning, and she gives you recipes that you can use that you need the star fragments for. And the telescope doesn't appear. Well, telescope does appear in New Horizons, but it's not specifically for her. In previous versions of the game, she was in the museum. I didn't notice this before with her telescope in the astronomy tower. There's a new flower mold. Where did you guys go? I did. Okay, well, it dumped it behind my calendar, and I'm having a problem with my iOS. Yes, finally, I hope we see more of this for Animal Crossing, because there are specific types of flowers in the game, one of which is a tulip, and I do believe this is a tulip. This set is amazing. It may be one of the best Lego sets ever created, only because it's filling me with nostalgia and joy. And it's giving me a visceral reaction to something that I really appreciate.
It's also got the book with the constellation in it.
Yep.
So yeah, some cool things.
What are you going to say, Vince?
Oh, just that the same thing Ben said with the constellation. My biggest question on these, though, so the Friends line, the camping stuff they've done lately is amazing. They have all this camping and treehouse stuff, which very screams like what I've seen of Animal Crossing. Vibes the same, and those have so much more with landscape and stuff to do, where all these Animal Crossing are out of place, tiny little grass with a tree on it.
Yeah,
they made a decision, obviously, when they made this, to make it modular and make it you can play in the game, where you can build the different terrain levels and all of them look the same. And I hope they grow from that, because I've been very disappointed in that as well. I like that they're using that piece to make it more modular, so people can create their islands, but no one's really doing that. I don't think, anyway.
You don't have enough of them. You'd have to buy 20 of these sets to make even a base plate worth of grass.
Great point. And you have to transition from ocean to beach to land to terrain to make it look like an island, and that's a pretty big investment for just a family who's into Animal Crossing. They spend enough time playing the game, because it is kind of a time sink. However, I haven't played for almost a year. I still love the brand, but I'm definitely going to get this. I mean, that owl mold is really cool. She's one of my favorite characters in the game, obviously, because I just about cried when he brought this picture up, because Yeah, I'm excited about this for sure.
Yeah.
And not only that, they can make her brother Blathers, who is the curator of the museum on the island, and maybe we'll see a museum set, which I know a lot of people are excited about. You guys go ahead and talk about your feelings about this from your perspective of Lego and Animal Crossing. There's 13 comments that we've missed. Yep. Yeah,
I was gonna pull some of those up too. Patrick says that camper looked like the Fabuland camper. Or
yes.
Fabuland camper.
Oh my God! Hold on. You guys keep talking. I've got it.
Sure. Don likes
sorry.
Figures, of course.
I'm sorry, baby. Did I step on you?
Crystal was covering us on that piece that Vince and I weren't familiar with,
baby.
confirming it's not new.
Good girl.
Don says have it in a few colors. Crystal confirmed it was one piece. Brickhead Brad suggests maybe they make a roach piece on a 1x1 tile.
That'd be awesome.
Everyone is calling those new flower molds roses. So
I'm sorry. Do they? Okay.
Do they have purple roses? I don't know.
They do, but they're dark purple in the game, and the tulips are more this color.
Okay, who knows?
Maybe they're hyacinths.
I've also been told, no, Mark, that's the barge. I don't know what that means.
Not a hyacinth. Wind flowers?
You know.
It's been a while since I've played, like I said. That's the barge.
Don't know what that means. Sarah also loves the book in this picture. Crystal does clarify that she doesn't necessarily actually know the names of the flowers. She doesn't play the game. She just loves the mold.
Yeah, it's good mold, either way.
Brickhead Brad says that his son dropped out of school to play and build Animal Crossing. Well, Mark was close to that during the pandemic.
What?
And I've been told that this is indeed the best set ever.
Oh, it's upstairs.
By Brickhead Brad. And Brickhead Builds says rose mold, also eggshells in white. I don't see the eggshells in white. But maybe he means if they are white, you could use them as an eggshell, perhaps. But there we have
I'm upset.
Oh, maybe there is an eggshell piece back here. I don't think so, though.
I don't think there is. The camper is somewhere else in the house. We'll make it a point that I bring out the Fabuland camper next week.
All right.
A great mold.
One more Animal Crossing set that was not on my screen, but here it is.
It's pretty good.
So I pulled it up. We've got a hedgehog and a bunny.
Yes.
Or a porcupine and a bunny.
No, hedgehog. So that's Mabel. She's one of the Able sisters. I wish they had Sable in this because she's another one of my favorite characters. But Mabel will do. It gives us the hope that they'll create her sisters in the future. The pear tree. The pear tree's big. Yeah, pear tree's big here. I think that those are in several other sets already. That fruit, that generic fruit shaped piece. This is the same kind of crap building. What would you call it? Standard that we have for the Animal Crossing buildings. However, the colors are exactly Able Sisters. For some reason, this one offends me less than the other ones have. So I'm excited about getting this. They have one of the new characters, Sasha, the sort of gender neutral bunny. Okay. And I'm excited to see if there's anything else inside besides that one torso, because the Able Sisters sell clothing. So this is a great opportunity for them to offer many of there's hundreds and hundreds of clothing items in the game. It's not thousands, but hundreds of torsos that they could be making. I'm sure they're going to I would be very surprised if they didn't come up at some point with a CMF line for Animal Crossing, because there's over 300 characters. Just in the villagers you can get, let alone the NPCs, and just again thousands of clothing items. So this is the clothing store. It'd be nice to see more than just 3 torsos in this. Yeah. But they do like to show us everything that's available in just one picture. And so I think there's only 3 torsos available. There is also a tiger butterfly if you play the game. That's pretty cool. They're making a specific butterfly that you can catch in the game. The tiny hat and the sunglasses. There is a tiny hat you can get that goes up, but it's a top hat. So I'm a little disappointed that it's a baseball cap because that's not something I'm aware of that you can get in the current version of the game. Again, it looks like they're trying to make hyacinths back there, but that's not a new mold. And they should make a new mold for hyacinths because it'd be very cool. They grow straight up. And all the flowers in the game grow directly up. So it'd be nice to have something that like you can create a field of flowers that is kind of growing in rows instead of always having to go out and kind of like
look more realistic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The water here,
bigger, dang it.
The water here makes little to no sense. To Vince's point, like to make your island, you'd have to buy tons of these. If this is a river that goes behind the Able Sister shop, you would need like 9 of this set just to get that particular piece. It'd be nice if they had some like if they came out with like a Minecraft, like how Minecraft came out with the expansion set, like Minecraft Builder Box or Creativity Box or whatever. It'd have to be tons of these base plate type things to like really create your entire island out of these and have like a ton of trees in it, a ton of flowers, and a ton of these like little accessory things that I've called out as we talked about Animal Crossing over time now. But yeah, I think one of the things they're doing is they're sticking to one standard for building so that you can make them modular and switch them in and out the way that you do in the game and customize them. I just wish it was a better standard.
Apparently Mario also had a creative set.
I was thinking that in my head. I was like, someone else did. Was it Mario? That's what my brain said. That's how it talks. That's how it sounds. Animal Crossing Crafter Box set. Yes, I want that.
That's what Patrick says. Maybe they could call it, or Pat says they could call it.
I'd buy it.
Okay. Yeah. Base plates are.
They are.
The same as the Super Mario ones, so maybe you could just pull from that. Who knows?
And maybe you can mix them together. Maybe one of these days they're going to have Smash Bros.
It's true. Or they could just do a Nintendo Creator Box.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
In case you're into both.
Yeah. A lot of
I
people
wish
probably
they just
are.
move away from this style.
Yeah, I agree. I wish they would, or since they've already invested so much in it, obviously in the first 3 waves, in a year and a half, I think they have a lot more in the coffers. With that being considered, maybe they just build it up, like do something more sophisticated from here, because I think this baseline. I think we're stuck with it. I think they probably feel like they're stuck with it too. So they're probably going to want to base it off of all of this. But I mean, you guys got me on a tangent. I do apologize. We should definitely move on because we're at 9:42 and we have a lot left to talk about.
We do have some other things to talk about because next up is what we dubbed the cuckoo themes.
Yeah. And
you might be saying, well, what's a cuckoo theme? Well, it turns out, and this is part of where I'm going to have to confess some badness as to what happened here. We, of course, are renowned hackers.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were thinking about some themes that were a little off base, like, say, Nexonites, they tried to do a Big Bang theme, where they took 2 things that people should love, castle and space, and they jammed them together. Turns out, they weren't just always jamming random themes together to make weird cuckoo themes.
Not always.
They made a number of strange cuckoo themes that we found concept art for on Stud Sidious's phone.
And we've talked about this before on the stream. I was here with Jesse when we talked about them, and there were some lost themes out there. You saw some artwork in the thumbnail for this week. And there's some, if you want to check out this amazing article on Brick Nerd, which is mostly sourced by Brick Journal, there's quite a few amazing lines out there that they never produced that they have pictures of because they were starting to try to sell them and do some test marketing with it. So right here we have Citron, here we have the Sea People, we have a multicolored Tron, we have some unreleased Blacktron sets or some sketch sets that were never released, whatever this is. We have some
Raidery things.
Something that would seem like a precursor because of the sand purple color to the Life on Mars sets. Europa, which is super interesting. Check out this article if you have time. You can, read the URL here and type it in. 1920s, the speakeasy sets. And then this, which I found fascinating because it looks very Galador, but it also looks like it was made out of Sculpey. What I didn't think to do the first time we talked about this was click on this picture. It turns out there's a link to some more pictures from the history of this line. Now, people talked about like, oh, it looks very Galador. Well, I think that's what happened. I think one of the designers, if you read this article, was coming up with something that was like a construction figure. That was something you could switch out the pieces. And they had a whole story about why he was built out of bricks. And it was much more Lego oriented than what Galador ended up being. But I think this designer was working so hard to like get it happening that when they saw the brand Galador come up, they were like, well, this is the perfect IP since we already have what's it called? Star Wars. And they just picked up Harry Potter, I think, right before they went with Galador. These are some of the other pictures from this. Like it was, if you look at some of this, you can pick up some Lego pieces. There's a 1x1 transparent round plate here. There's some other things that have studs on them. So it was much more Lego oriented. And they said like, well, if we're not going to go all the way in, yes, Cosmic Pirate Laundromat, of course, that's definitely one of them that was never released. And so I think that they shifted this idea to Galador since it was something that somebody, another IP already had, and they already had like kind of like the base working towards it. And I think that's what ended up happening with Cybots, and that's why it looks so crappy, is because they probably were literally sitting there building it with Sculpey. Dear Lord. But you see this, it looks like Technic plus Classic Space plus a human being was kind of what they were originally going for. They decided not to release it. But Ben, as you were saying, we hacked Stud Sidious's phone, and we found a lot more. His phone is... It should not be so easy to hack someone's phone.
He needs to do better.
He does.
Honestly.
Stud.
But
do better.
I will say part of what happened with me, and frequently, right? This was one of the things I found on there. But what always happens, Mark, when I come to shows with you is people come up to you during the show and they say, Ben, he's such a great, honest guy. I want my kids to grow up to be like him, all this other stuff. But I'm a bit of a fraud because when I went out to Stud's phone, he had a folder that said Akbar on it. And I was like, Akbar? Is this like an unreleased Admiral Akbar theme?
Right.
I went in there, and this is actually what inspired my orange spaceship line or idea.
Oh, I thought that
this classic theme, I totally ripped it off from Lego.
How would you even know if it was unreleased, though? Like, I would imagine that they were following you, and they were like, let's do a Daddy Ben theme.
No.
No?
No, I think I've deciphered what happened here. Why they called the theme Akbars, because it's a trap. They made me think that this was
cool.
Cool. And in fact, part of the reason I thought it was cool is because the theme was called On Trend Listen Friend. Yeah,
I think orange spaceships with weird beards, it somehow bled its way into your self-conscious.
It is. And look at this. They even had some box art. Here we go.
Ooh.
Check this out. How
nice. It's like
this have been.
It's like a cloud car. If a cloud car were a motorcycle and the other pod was a sidecar.
But what do you know? Orange spaceships.
What do I know?
With mustaches.
I'm
not even close to my idea. I think Lego was baiting me, and they just did this because they're like, you know what? It's actually not on trend.
I think you're right.
And we're going to throw you off the scent.
Yeah, Vince, thoughts on this? Vince, you're muted.
Yeah, what'd you do, Vince?
Are you there? Hello?
Vince is silent. Stunned silence.
Vince has been silent. So, yeah, this is shocking to me. Vince, while you work on your audio issues, we're going to talk amongst ourselves. You jump in whenever you can. do you think? All right, I want to get the history of what happened.
Mhm.
If this was never, here you. All right, Vince, thoughts.
I was actually just muted. That was fun.
What do you know?
No, I can't get mustache right out of my head.
Mustache, right? Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yep.
That would have been a good title. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I guess they could have called it that, but no, it was. Oh,
Now he's gone.
He'll be back.
Oh, he's dead.
That's okay. That'll be back. Yeah, I mean, so I got into the phone, and I saw the
Mhm.
Akbar folder, and I instantly thought, well, not only am I going to find Lego in there, I might actually
Right.
find like an unreleased, unknown, super duper secret Disney Plus theme inside the Akbar folder.
Interesting.
But here's the thing: there was no Akbar at all in there,
Yeah,
and I am now convinced that it was a trap. 100%.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what
Wasn't
Akbar.
anything in there.
I wonder if Akbar was an acronym.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been. Mark, I don't suppose you found any themes in the Stud Sidious files, did you?
Well, just in case anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, why this inspired you, or why there's an ugly mustache on the front of an orange spaceship, just in case they're joining us for the first time, which they are, they should definitely like and subscribe, because what's not to like? Let's check out this fun song from our garage band.
Daddy Ben, oh, he loves his space. Lego ships in orange, all in place. But Mara's size, they're all the same. And why that beard? It's just a shame. Orange ships, computers galore. Mara dreams of something more. In Legoland, where dreams take flight. Orange or not, they'll get it right. Daddy, your ships are lame. All of them look the same. And your beard, such a disgrace. Maybe just one short hair on your face.
I spend too much time working on them.
And sometimes you just don't do them. And they'll be what,
Yeah,
and your beard.
and my beard.
And your mustache.
I'll get back in the photo so everyone can see.
Ugh.
Alright.
It should be more like one of those French ones that is the movies, like squirrels.
Like a little villain mustache?
Yes, you need that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mara. Thanks for the rant.
Or you just need
Good
one
job.
little hair.
It takes too long for you to build them. Focus, get it done, concentrate. Daddy Ben, one more word about your beard. Come on, Daddy, it's so weird.
And they don't have different size ranges, which they should. And they they all have computers in them. Like, it's disgusting.
Orange spaceships, make it end. Listen, friend, it's not a trend. Orange beard, that's the trend. Make it happen. I love you, Daddy Ben. I love you, Daddy Ben.
Wow. Yeah.
It is.
There it is. So I did actually find another unreleased Lego theme on Stud Sidious's phone.
All right.
What do you think this was called?
Well, this reminds me of
Mm-hmm.
one part of this reminds me of something that Mara, who we just saw
Yeah.
in the video there, likes to
Yeah.
do, which is to take the UTVs and go mudding.
Yes.
So
You're on the right track.
yeah, so I can see the UTVs mudding
Yeah.
on the right,
Uh-huh.
but I am not sure about these other two themes, because soccer in a mud pit seems like an interesting choice for a Lego theme.
Right. I agree. I think that's kind of where they started to go wrong with this, and why it wasn't eventually released. initially, when I saw these, I was like, why didn't they release this? This is appealing to me. Vince, your takes?
Well, mud pit soccer is definitely something you do during homecoming week.
Yes, we actually did that at college too.
But the rest of them, I mean, like they actually, I would buy those. Those look awesome. The dirt bikes and the buggies. That's pretty sweet.
Why did they not release this? Your thoughts again? Just I'll give you each one guess. What was this called?
Oh boy, I'm gonna call it. If it wasn't for the soccer, I would call it like, rally sports or something like that. But the mud pit soccer, I'm just gonna go with like mud sports.
Vince?
Mud motorsports. Mud sports.
Dirty bricks.
Dirty bricks.
Ben killed it. It was called Mud Sports. And Joellen is correct. It was. I think there was something odd with the scale of the figures too. Like, are they mechas? Or like, what's happening? I don't know. So this was on Stud's phone. This was like the first wave, and something bothered me about this. See that there?
That kind of looks like maybe a rubber ducky almost. I can't tell.
No, someone's skinny dipping in the river.
Oh,
why? Why? Yeah, bizarre. So I think the problem. I think they would have released this, but I think the designers who were putting together the second wave spoiled it for everybody. Take a look at this. What's happening? What is happening here?
This looks like a mud rave, quite honestly. And there are wheels everywhere. This thing's just crazy. I wonder if at one point this set was called Mud Wrestling, and it just,
might have been.
The wheels are very confusing. Let me just say,
the wheels are very confusing. Vince, what do you think this sport is?
I think this is just a regular party with too much illicit materials. Right? You guys are all right. Woodstock 99 is the best answer, by the way. Muddy Mosh Pit, yeah, definitely that. Dude, the scene from Stripes? Right, yes. You guys are amazing. So what this was called, and I don't have a slide for this, but this was mud breakdancing.
Ah, where's Raygun in here?
And why are there tires?
I don't know.
Why are there maybe I think sometimes, like, I just assume that the designers are going to research this stuff, but obviously that I'm giving them too much credit. And then I think this one was a little, like, would have been a little confusing for people. What sport is this?
This looks like mud speed chess, but it's like the wizard battle chess version. So this is like mud wizard battle chess.
Vince, thoughts on what sport this is?
It looks like poor hygiene.
It looks like
too much Indian food.
So I wish I had made slides for this, because Ben, you've once again nailed it. It's mud speed chest, which
okay.
Which I don't. By the way, I don't know why they would interpret speed chess as like having cars there, but also I don't know how this board ended up where I don't understand mud speed chess at all, because the white side has barely moved any pieces, and the black side is like there's.
You mean the mud covered side?
Yeah. Yes. There are people in place of pieces. They're sinking into the board. There's weeds growing out of it. Yeah, who knows? All right, can you identify this mud sport for me, please?
That's mud rhythmic gymnastics.
You are correct, which I think would be really, really difficult.
I do too.
The minute that ribbon touches mud, it's not going to float, right?
Done. You're over.
And I think this next one is the one that really killed the line.
I know what this is.
Yeah.
Vince, do you know what this is?
It's mud curling.
Mud curling, 100%.
Which, by the way, in this configuration, you can't actually curl.
Why? Because of the mud wall in the way?
Yes. So I think what
Harder, yes.
I think what happened, maybe this is a real thing, is like when you're when you're trying to sweep, you build up a mud wall, and then you get sure. Stop, you guys! It's mud, as it shows us in this next one. And I think this is why it really failed. Disclaimer: mud is not included.
That was probably the problem.
That had to have been the problem.
Yeah.
That must be why they cut it.
That's 100%.
Anyway, Ben, did you find anything else?
Oh, I absolutely did.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'm interested to hear what you found.
Yeah, so I also found this. It turns out I wasn't the only one subject to a trap. Because we also had this theme that Lego produced. It actually has a specific name.
It does it.
That you guys might be able to tell who else was tricked by this, because
I know the answer.
Vince, do you know the answer to what this theme was called?
Cherry Hill Beach Party or something like
Cherry Vitality
that?
Beach.
Cherry Vitality.
No wonder. It must have leaked, and then the Blockverse beat them to it.
They did, and that's always the danger, right? And you want to get an idea of what some box art for this looked like?
This is so much better, by the way. I would love to see the box art.
Yeah, it looked like this.
Oh, duh! This is great. It looks like these. It looks like these cherries have vitality, and they're on a beach.
I'm glad they're all wearing sunglasses.
However,
keeping the rays out of their eyes. What's with the wheel again? Just in the middle of nowhere.
I don't know.
What is it?
I have no idea. However, one other thing, if you had just found this picture, I would have guessed that it was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Cherry tomatoes, probably. No,
Good
cherry vitality.
point.
I also like on the side of the box here, they probably had names for each of these characters.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, it's probably like Cherry Pie and, Larry Cherry and, Cherry Vitality. I don't know.
I would have liked to have seen those and learned the names. One thing I will say is I really love those palm trees. Yeah. That is actually a really good Lego palm tree design. I wish they would make them like that.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got another suggestion for maybe it should have been called Me, Twig, and Berries. No. You're close, but no. I'm also noticing that Lego, when they were producing these, and this also happened in your mud set,
yes,
they tend to somehow put the legs of the minifigures on upside down. Like this guy in the foreground here with these crazy upside down legs.
No, this did not happen. Oh, yes, it did. In the breakdancing set, 100%. There was a guy drowning in mud. You are correct.
Yeah.
That is something that happened in the designers.
I wonder if
leaked to Stud's phone.
If they were trying to come up with some more ways to increase and make their patent live longer, or do some version where you could pull the legs off and put them on upside down for more. Movement?
Yeah.
Sure.
Perhaps. Brickhead Brad is putting the kids to bed, and unfortunate for him. So, Brickhead Brad, please make sure you go back to 3 hours, 2 minutes, 37 seconds tomorrow.
Beach, baby.
Or later tonight, because you got to see the rest of these. Are there any more sets in this line?
No, these are the only two in this line.
Oh, well, I'm sure there were more, but Stud just didn't have them on his phone. Do you want to see what I found next?
I do.
What is this theme called?
Oh boy. Okay. These look like ducks. Perhaps even crazy ducks. For a second, I wanted to say maybe they were platypi.
Maybe.
But they could just be ducks. I'm going to tell you right now, that is the coolest freaking mech I've ever seen.
I know, right? Why did they not produce this? I know. Wait till you see what else they had. Vince, what do you think of this set?
I think it's fantastic. I didn't see more platypus vibe than duck, except for no tail.
I think you're right with the platypus, though, because it's a mech.
Yeah.
I think you're probably pretty right that it's a platypus and not a duck.
It's duck-billed platypus.
Yeah, well,
To be fair, right?
exactly. Are there any other kind, as Vince just said?
Hey,
Is there
they
a
always
non?
call them a duck-billed platypus, so maybe there's a pigeon-billed platypus, and we just don't know it very well. I don't know.
So Papa Rex wants this. Crystal from Australia immediately identified it as a platypus. So this was called Apocalypus.
I want them all.
So according to the brief, it was post-apocalyptic, and the platypi had radiated into anthropomorphic beings, and the humans were trying to invade their territory, and they're defending their territory with these giant mechs. I think one of the reasons this wasn't produced is because, I mean, every one of those sets looks exactly the same.
It's true.
It is true.
But
they're good, though.
Yeah, the two on the far right are
I know.
very similar.
Like, super similar.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like Big Simba, Little Simba, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is exactly like that.
Yeah. So Joel wants us to, right? Keep telling Lego, because they've obviously done the work already. All they need to do is just pull the trigger. If you let them know that people want this, I think they're ready to go.
Yeah, it looks like I saw some misprintings though, and here too, Apocalypse.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They had a bad proofreader on set on the team.
So I'm assuming, without knowing any better, that this line was originally inspired after the creators all watched together Zombievers. And following Zombievers, they said, you know what would be better than a Zombiever? An Apocalypse.
I think you're correct. Vince, thoughts on this one?
Day one by.
Oh yeah, no shit.
The whole
Bryce
line.
Jones.
Like, not even.
Oh yeah. You haven't even seen the whole line yet. What I like about this is that the mech has become very organic, and look at the humans running away. They're terrified. Ben, is there something that we've talked about on the stream that you noticed in this set?
Just today?
No, I would say back to the days of Victor.
Oh, we're talking about boy.
I'll let you off the hook. Are there bald cypress in this set, or are there not?
I was looking at these trees, thinking, are these bald cypress trees?
You are correct.
They're more like, they're definitely not comb over cypress trees.
They are not.
But they don't like have the hangy bits like they should.
No, they are bald for sure.
They're very bald.
Papa Rex saying, Ben, all critical on the early renders, sir. I mean, come on, seriously. Bad proofreader. It's the only reason it failed. I think you're right. I think they tried to bring this to the marketing team. They're like, why is it spelled differently on every one? I love the fact that they I like this style of like the sets here, but the other part of the set is actually the humans running away from this terrifying platypus. That's pretty clever, I think. Lego Team B says, more importantly, this is not the set for this box. Yes, it is. They just expanded it to show the humans running away. You're going to see a bit of that with this theme, by the way.
I like how it's like coming out of the box.
I like this one.
It's like the Apocalypse Dam.
Yes, that's their hideout.
Like their dam fortress, yeah.
And the humans are trying to infiltrate, but they're ready. I mean, you can't fool platypi.
Yeah, some of these humans look like they're trying to dress like platypi with like a mask on or something.
I think you're right. But I think one of the reasons that they pivoted away from this was they had an idea, and I think they ended up signing a deal with an IP that kind of had a similar idea, and they were like, "Oops, this is one of our big sets." And I think the confusing thing about this is they were like, "Well, duck-billed platypus, let's make ducks their enemy." So I think they were reaching a little bit too far. Ben, thoughts on this one?
I would assume that they were like contemplating calling this the Apocalypse Bus or the Apocalypse or something.
Perhaps.
Here's the suggestion. Same thing. Yeah, the Apocalypse Bus. And unfortunately, it didn't fly because of their connection to Fortnite. So they
Vince?
ended up having to abandon it.
Vince, your thoughts on this set?
Well, first, it's obviously the Platypus,
There you go. You're right.
but
That's what it was called.
actually, I mean, it's obviously too close to the Fortnite Platypus, but the terrain
Yeah.
and the ruins. Oh my god!
Yes, I know, right?
You know what I think this is? They've had a number of Lego themes that have started out strong on the first wave, and then they're like, hey, we got to do something different. We've built too many gosh darn mechs. What can we do to freshen it up?
Yeah.
And as soon as they went, oh, we need ducks as the enemy of our duck-billed platypus,
Yeah.
they were over the edge. And
They'd have been friends for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed
Changed
in
up
this
the color scheme, and it was over. It's over, Johnny.
So what was interesting about this product shot is they were putting so much action into it. Like obviously the platypi are like fighting humans off their bus as they're flying away, and there's this blurry image of this character here, and I was like, what is that thing? And so I dug into Stud's phone a little bit further, and it's this guy.
Oh,
I love
that's
this
amazing.
guy. Right? What do you think this guy is called, Ben?
Cyclopopus. Cyclopopocalypus.
That's a very good guess. Vince, do you have another guess?
It's like Howard the Expletive.
How about a punklopocalypse?
It's Platyclops.
Platyclops.
Duh.
Ugh.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
I want one of these. They really need to make this. Ben, did you find any more themes on?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Can we see them, please?
Sure. Here we go. This one.
What is this?
Well, I believe they wanted to call this theme Fun Hole.
Why?
How much fun does that look like?
It looks.
You could just jump into the fun hole, everybody.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, it's appealing.
Yeah, so here we go.
Yeah. No, this is great.
Turns out they did come up with some little expansion off this one.
Yeah.
Like, this was like the concept shot, like, everybody come and join the fun hole.
My first thought was like it could go anywhere.
It could. I think they found some limits by the fact that most of their pictures just involve people jumping into holes. And you can only do that so many times.
And you have to have a very specific place to build this, like a table with a hole in it, right? Unless it's like 60 layers of brick underneath each build, which would probably get pretty expensive. I wonder why on this box they decided to put their logo on it twice.
I don't know. It's just Lego. We have here that this could be called the bottomless fun hole.
Right. Aren't they all?
Not fun. You're wrong, Papa Rex. This would be fun to jump into the fun hole.
Why else would they call it that?
Yeah, they didn't call it terror hole.
You sound like someone who's very mistrusting.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think there was one more image of this line.
Was there?
Yeah, because...
Are you sure?
Yeah, this is like...
Wait a minute. What's fun about this? What's really fun about this one is that there's a man in a bear suit sliding down a slide in front of the fun hole, and everyone's dancing. They must all be getting ready to jump in their own creative way. I think the fun hole is the place to go.
Yeah.
That's what this is telling me.
Yeah, but I think part of the issue was that this is like the big daddy fun hole.
Hours of no taint, holy fun.
Yeah, and I think that maybe kind of the problem was they weren't sure they were
Ugh.
sucking enough people in, so they did build a
They were worried they weren't sucking enough people in. Just want to reiterate that.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, to the
so they also built fun hole mini adventures. This is a
Oh!
slide that leads into a fun hole.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
The bear's escaping from the drowning pool. Yeah.
But here we are.
A lot of people don't trust this fun hole, apparently.
Yeah, the trees are solid, but again, here's your final fun hole, down the slide into the fun hole, over the lips, through the teeth. I don't know.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, mini adventure. Who is the character that's being highlighted in the bottom right corner?
Yeah, I think maybe they're like, before you enter the fun hole, you're supposed to put on a costume. And
Obviously,
the guy with the construction helmet and the bionic leg had to put the crazy mouse ear, cat ear things on before he went down into the fun hole.
that makes perfect sense. Why did they not release this?
I suspect the reason that this was not released was because it was just the same thing. People falling into holes, but I don't know.
But what's great about this one is that they decided to put a lamppost here so that you can jump into the fun hole all night. Nighttime will not stop you.
I'm pretty sure your fun hole's usually reserved for night, quite honestly.
Fun hole mini adventure happens at night in the park.
Yep. Yep.
Jeez.
So I don't know. Lego TV points out there were 2 age ranges on this set. Yeah, the top one is for after hours. The bottom one is for the younger crowd when the lights are still on. Yep.
Everyone has a different definition of fun hole.
Mm-hmm.
I love lamp too.
Lamp. Okay.
I love it. I love lamp as well.
I don't know what that means, but I agree.
Yeah.
That's it? Brickworld 2025, Hole of Lights. Oh, I have one more theme, but
you do.
That's it for Fun Hole. Do you have any more themes?
Funny enough, I did find one more.
All right.
This is my last one. Who's this guy?
This is like a partied out clown who's also a surfer. So I'm going to call this Surfing Party Clown. No, Drunk Surfing Party Clown.
That's not a bad guess. Vince, what did Lego call this character?
Jersey Shore drug dealer.
I think that actually, I think you're right. That was like the Broccupine. Broccupine is great, and they should definitely consider renaming it that. But I think Vince, that's the description in the brief. But his name is this.
Joe Buttface. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so here's some of the other characters from the line. What's this guy called?
Sandwich Stanley.
Vince, any guesses?
Cornhole Isle.
Something.
Mark a day after Brickworld 2025, perhaps. Vince, what did you say? Sorry.
Very Bart Simpson-y vibes.
Yes, I know. It's the eyes. Well, his name, of course, was Willie.
Oh.
What
about this character? It's like, by the way, I just want to say, it's like ChatGPT was like giving several iterations of the same prompt, and like these are like the evolution, but that's just like I'm just what's it called? Re something. I can't come up with the word. Shit, sorry.
New renders. I hope this is a 12-piece CMF series.
It's not. I'm so sorry.
Is the stud? No, I have Island
Island
Boy set. Yeah, I have a feeling that this guy's
Yeah.
name, he's probably friends or related in some way to Willie, and I think maybe his name is Won'ty.
Oh, perhaps.
Mhm.
Vince, any guesses on his name?
Like Alabaster or something weird.
Bernie.
Bernie.
Oh,
Yeah.
he looks like Bernie.
And
Like
these,
sandwich.
they all seem to have sandwiches for some reason. This is of course the beach party blowout from Joe Buttface.
Beck B, bro.
I know. Again, bad proofreader.
Terrible proofreader.
And the marketing team. Ruminating. I was ruminating. That was the word I was looking for, by the way. I
Yes.
nailed it. Live stream brain, everybody. So is this Stutter Citizen Brick's phone? It's Studs. But yeah, maybe they should share files, right? And with a Y, no less. Bernie. Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to confuse him with Bernie Sanders.
So let's see what other sets did they have in this? Like obviously here we've got a beach party with a bartender and a DJ, but the speakers are also in the bar. That's a loud party. Seems really annoying, really broy. I don't know who they would have been targeting with this. Let's take a look at the next set.
Ooh, I like this one.
Yeah, what do you like about it?
The meat party. This is probably, if I was going to call this anything, this would be called sausage party, because all I see are grilling meats and like 1.5 ladies and a bunch of bros just hanging out grilling meat.
Yeah, Vince, what do you see here?
Yeah, sausage fest all around.
Yeah.
Something Buttface pool adventure.
Yeah, you got it. No, it's the pool party. The name of the set is right there.
Oh.
So Ben, I don't know if you noticed this, but this was like the palm tree here.
Yeah.
Is something that was used in your sets.
That's a holdover from Cherry Vitality Beach.
Right. Obviously, they haven't released this yet, but this would be great for Animal Crossing, like palm trees that look like palm trees. I don't know why they're holding these molds back because they look fantastic to me. Interesting that they were exactly the same in yours.
Yeah.
And I think part of the problem with this is it seems like a little bit too toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Maybe I like the guy up here on the diving board that's going to like push the guy with glasses off the diving board.
The guy with 3 legs who's going to push the guy with glasses off the diving board.
I think that was I think they were going to like make it a motion looking thing eventually, but yeah, I was confused by that too.
Okay, yeah.
But I would say it's also like it's like a lesson. Like you should not eat your hot dog at the end of the diving board, right?
You fool.
They did. I did find a shot with a disclaimer on this one. If there was a disclaimer on the shot, what do you think it would be?
You can't really eat the meat. How about pool floaty doesn't float?
I was going to guess it was pool floaty doesn't float, but it's not that. Vince, your thoughts on the disclaimer from this one?
A lady with a foot for a hand is not real.
Close, you guys. Close. Actually, Ben nailed it. Joe Buttface cannot actually eat the sandwich.
That's important to note.
Yeah. I think the real reason this wasn't produced is because this was part of the first line.
Horseplay WrestleFest. Okay.
So there is a lot going on here. A lot that's very concerning. I
like the multiple posters that say "dumb bro."
I feel that promotes self-awareness. At least, Vince, your thoughts on this set?
I think it should come in conjunction with a city police station.
Right. Well,
Drunk tank set.
Right. I didn't see any on Stud's phone, but I would imagine by the brief that's where they would go next. But it, like, just on like what they had produced and like the marketing images, it seemed like they were going vastly in the other direction. What struck me about this one, there are two people super glued to the wall. It's just like, maybe that's a thing that like dumb bros do. The one guy's having a good time with it. He's kicking a ball. I think the big concern with this, I think this is where the line just really fell, is like the massive blob of like homoerotic wrestling happening at the center of the set. I don't know which way is up there.
Yeah, me neither. I have a question. The new guy in the back on the stairs, is he trying to put out a fire with a rock? What's he doing?
So that's a really good question. Let's take a look at him. So I think that's why they decided, let's nix this because we're going a little too far. I believe he's setting something on fire.
Okay.
Like with some sort of like some sort of soft material. But I think the big problem with this, it's a nude minifigure setting something on fire. But if you look between the spikes of the green hairs of the dumb bro in the foreground, they made a minifigure with pubic hair.
I think maybe they were just censoring that out in the image.
Well, yeah, it's like, who is this for?
Yeah.
Who is this for? Yeah, very.
I joined at the right time.
Hey, yeah, you're perfect. Minifig pubic hair. How are you tonight, sir? Yeah, that's all I found on Stud's phone, by the way.
Also, who puts a TV at the top of the stairs like this?
Obviously, dumb bros.
Obviously, dumb bros. Well, all right. I found one more.
Papa Rex also has a TV at the top of his stairs. That's who.
Okay, well, makes sense. I found one more set.
All right, let's see it.
And you know, the whole idea, the whole theme, the whole thing that I found with the Akbar was, of course, that other people had foolishly, and I will say foolishly, tried to steal these ideas from Lego, and it's probably why they're flopping. But this is perhaps the most disturbing of all the ones I saw. Let's see it.
I don't know what this is called. I'm at a loss. Vince, any idea?
Yeah, there's some ideas, but not short ones. What would be a Lego set name?
I think perhaps the line was called, Drunk Mini.
You're very close. This was going to be a whole theme. This was the most iconic set, but the theme's name was going to be Drunk Disney.
Drunk Disney. Oh, okay.
Get a little alliteration in there.
That makes more sense.
You have no idea. It was much easier than I thought to find this image.
It's weird that she's like, they decided to put her at the stage of drunkenness where her head has not yet popped off.
I made several requests that did not happen.
I should show you some of the ones I made. We should have an outtakes night for this from Stud's phone. Yeah. Wow. Are there? I hate to ask it, but dear Lord, that printed torso with the vomit running down it is visceral.
It is.
I'm surprised that they even considered this line. I know. Yes, this is all on Stud City, not us. Are there other sets in this line?
Thankfully, this was the only picture.
Oh, really?
For two reasons. One, I think they realized how much trouble they were going to get into with Disney right away. And second of all, when I tried to make it produce more, it was not happening.
Yeah.
When it got this one, I'm like, this is the apex. Thank you, I am leaving.
Stud's phone gets confused. In case you're watching the stream and you have no idea what we're referring to with this, check this out.
Welcome to Blockoverse, no souls around. Cheap sights and sounds, no life to be found. Photoshop toys on twin Siamese. Fathers and sons making IEDs. Welcome to the Blockleverse, everyone is checked. Water slides are funny, hands are grotesque. Car pest police, house cake topped off. Minnie's passed out, her head's popped off. Welcome to the Blockleverse, where dreams distort. Bad Photoshop, orphans in an eastern port.
Yeah. Well, Mark's not here. You could try to make a guess as to where he went. Sometimes, just for fun, I feel like I need to protect him, sometimes even from himself. So I might throw this one up, just in case. But it clarifies where Mark is or maybe is not. But while he's not here for a minute, we can rearrange the little windows here. We can talk about what we're going to talk about next, which is, of course, Close Call Bro and Cash Me Outside. Vince, are you going to do a rant today? You feeling like you're up for it?
I can rant. Is it 60 seconds limit?
All right. So we'll get to that. First, we've got to do our close call. Mark's not... Oh, here he comes. Mark's not back. Here he is. Time for a little close call action.
Ooh, nice.
We've got 2 today.
Good.
This first one might need some clarification after we start talking about it. But I want to know, how are you traveling with John Denver? He's going to take me home on a country road, or he's got our tickets and is leaving on a jet plane. Now, let me say right now, I think a lot of people are going to instantly gravitate towards country road, but keep in mind, if he takes you home on the country road, it's going to take a lot longer. You're going to be in the car with John Denver for like 6 hours instead of 2. And he's going to be playing Take Me Home Country Road for the whole 6-hour ride. If he takes you on the jet plane, he might sing Leaving on a Jet Plane, but you only have to suffer through it for 2 hours. So which way is John Denver taking you home? How you
Country
traveling?
road. Country road, hands down.
Still 6 hours. 6 hours of one song, but it's a great song, so you're cool with it?
Great song. Great song.
I'm
ignoring your instructions. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I'm not getting on an airplane with John Denver on general principle.
All right. Fair enough.
Fair.
Does anyone even like, here we go. Philosophy you will learn in those 6 hours will be a lifetime of knowledge.
Good point, Crimson Ghost.
Joe Ellen says, country road, even with the stipulations. So yeah, Leaving on a Jet Plane's classic, but it is a little more slow and plodding compared to Take Me Home Country Road. It's getting refreshed right now because one of the stupid bro country guys is doing a song that samples it.
Stupid bro country guys. Yep,
Yeah,
I know them.
Stupid bro country guys. I don't know if it's Jelly Roll or Morgan Wallen or who it is. I don't care.
Kentucky, Ohio line.
Okay, Kentucky,
There you go.
Ohio line, which is Georgia, Florida line's arch nemesis. Is that who it is? Yeah. So anyway, doesn't seem like there are too many close calls on this. Everyone wants to Take Me Home by the country road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one maybe then will get your imagination flowing more, but I have a feeling it's divisive as well. Michael Rappaport's energy. Endearing or aggravating?
I'm gonna lean towards endearing.
Okay.
I've liked me some Michael Rappaport since what was the first Quentin Tarantino movie where they wouldn't let him direct it or produce it because it had a sad ending. Something about heart. All right, I'm gonna have to look it up. But yeah, hopefully everyone knows who this is. I most recently saw him in The Last of Us. No, not The Last of Us. The other apocalyptic one on HBO. No,
It might have been. Was he on Walking Dead or
no,
Walking Dead? Or
no, none of those are HBO, sir. I'll look this up. I'll let you know.
Westworld. I don't know.
You know Sopranos?
Let's see here. Brick Dad Build says he's aggravating.
Yeah, most people think that, I think.
True Romance, Papa Rex.
True Romance. Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
Fallout. Fallout was a series that he was in for like a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mark went with endearing. I find his energy a bit aggravating. He's a bit one note for me, but that's part of his charm for some people, I think. He's just kind of like the bumbling, stumbling, lovable idiot kind of thing.
One of the more aggravating things about him, actually, is he was in a series called The War at Home, which premiered on September 11th, and they claimed it was just a coincidence. And in that series, he didn't have a good relationship with his son because his son was not masculine. And one of the things that his son did was play with Lego. And the set that they chose to show him building, and this was like a 12-year-old kid, 12, 13, was the Duplo Knight's Castle.
Interesting.
Because apparently that's what the set decorator decided was like what they could find that showed up good on camera.
That's a little interesting.
Tidbits. Mark's trivial mind comes up with things.
It does.
Randomly.
Crimson Goat. Have we heard from the Crimson Ghost, sorry. Just went back through the stream. Wow, some cool topics to discuss. Those unreleased sets are killer. Thank you, Crimson Ghost.
Thank you.
You have been on before. Let's see here. If they throw back to Return of the Living Dead, he'd be perfectly cast for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean he's just got that chaotic energy.
He was in Inside Out? Oh, not that Inside Out. Never mind.
The Zombieverse version.
Yeah, some horrible action.
Yeah.
He was funny in My Name is Earl. But he had the right energy for that, right?
Exactly. He's kind of got that kooky energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kooky energy. Well, we're not doing too many close calls today because we're already at 3:35. And
yeah. Mm-hmm.
we want to hear VMAC attack rant today.
We really need to.
I'm not sure there's anything else that I've wanted to do today other than hear VMAC light us up for a whole minute about something.
Agreed.
So let me get ourselves a timer here.
Let's get this Jamoke's face off the screen here. Hold on. I got you.
This Jamoke.
Talk about English words that people don't use a lot.
Yeah, you got mad about topsy-turvy, and you're saying Jamoke. Okay, who's ranting first today, Marky?
I would say let's go with Vince. Let's let the guest go first.
Let's tear off the Band-Aid. Let me pull up our timer here so that he knows exactly how much time he's got. Mark, you hitting the music for us?
Yeah, maybe. Give me 1 second, and we are ready to go.
I feel like no one has ever adulted before because there should be like a playlist of how you're supposed to do it. Because I go to work every morning, work all day, come home, work on something. There's always a project or something that's not like one of the fun ones. It's like a chore, or we got to paint the living room, or the kids got to go to practice, or we got scouts, or whatever. All I want to do is like relax, maybe play some Lego, maybe watch a sporting event. I don't know, but it's every day. And then like your days off, like Saturday, Sunday. Okay, now we got to do this. We got a soccer game, or we're going camping, which is fun. But then you don't have a day off either because camping is kind of hard work, even though it's fun. So, I can't be the only one that's coming across this where we don't know how to adult, and there's no fucking playlist of how to do it. Can we just? I'm sorry about the F-bomb. Demonetized.
It's fine.
But why is it so hard? Can you just have fun?
Fuck F-bombs, dude. That's what I say.
Yeah, I think you only get demonetized if you say an F-bomb in the first, 5 minutes or 10 seconds or something. It's a pretty low threshold for that. We get demonetized for all kinds of other things.
Yeah. I've thought about that recently, though, where I was like, I'm so glad we finally got a dog. And then it's like, she is like a full-time job some days, where it's like, she bit the vet tech this week, and then we had to medicate her, and then I gotta trim her nails because I'm the only person who she'll let touch her paws. Dear Lord. I'm like, why is that on me? And it's like, yeah, you get some time off and you're like, hey, Matt was out of town all weekend. And I was like, cool, I'm going to get so much work done. And I was just like, wait, got to order dinner, got to make myself some lunch, got to clean up the kitchen. I'm just like, no, no, this isn't how adulting's supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to like kill it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope,
You
no
spend-
time for anything.
Spend your entire childhood wishing you were an adult. Then you become an adult and you're like, childhood was awesome. What the fuck, right?
Yeah, childhood sucked.
But you got to compare it to now. I mean, it's like if I was rich and single, I'd do whatever I wanted, but it would probably be an unfulfilling life. But I wouldn't know that. So is the ignorance bliss? It's one of those things where I'm guessing people who do have to do adulting are like, man, I wish I didn't have to do the adulting and I was the single guy still who just could build Lego all day. But all those people are thinking, man, I wish I was married and had kids and I could do stuff like go camping with my kids and all that other thing. So
Yeah.
people without dogs are probably wishing they had a dog. You know?
This sounds like the prologue to a really bro-y comedy.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't either. I don't know what to tell myself. Ben, you or me next?
Do you have a good rant?
Decent, I guess.
Okay. I'll go next.
All right. You let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. I'll give you 10 seconds. I'll warn you. Actually, I'll warn you 5 seconds before it's done, in case you put up a piece in front of the screen and can't see the timer. All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
All right. By far, the worst part of doing this stream with Mark is that every week I have to come up with a 1-minute rant. And here's the thing. This is the last thing I prepare for every single week. I do lots of other things. I do the run a show. I work on whatever stupid skit we're going to do, which, you know, is fun for me. But I never bother to come up with a rant. I know we're going to do it, and I just say, I'll make it up on the fly. The only good time I've ever had a rant, actually two. One was when I told you about how everyone kept saying I hated Castle, which I didn't. And the second one wasn't even a rant I did. It was a rant my daughter did. She's 7 times better at this than I am. I'm actually considering no longer ranting and just ceding my time to Mara, bringing her down here and saying, Mara, rant, just go for it. And I think she could do it. But me, it's too much. It's too
5
much.
seconds.
And we do it every freaking week. Every week.
Oh, it sounds like a burden.
It's
When you put it that way.
It's such a burden.
Yeah.
And you know, you can't even see my head half the time because they got this thing.
Because that logo is over there. Yeah.
Covering it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real problem.
I knew you hated Castle. Well, I say every week that I hate Castle. Of course you knew it.
I don't care. I cannot keep up.
Fine.
Nor do I care to.
Okay, fine. We'll keep the segment. It's fine.
No. I don't care if you like Castle or not. If you don't want to do the rants, I'm okay with that.
No, we're gonna do the rants.
All right, fine. Be that way.
Thing. Vince, let's break this down. Why did Mark want to do the rants?
In the first place?
Yes.
Probably because he wanted to get something off his chest.
No, not even close. You want to know why it was? He wanted 1-minute segments to post on YouTube Shorts. And he's just drilling me for content because what do you know? 1 minute is what it takes to make a YouTube short. So if I make Ben rant for a minute, I can exploit him for my YouTube Shorts and I don't have to do any real work to put them up.
To be fair, though, it's what Bo and Yang does in his podcast. And I kind of really think that they're funny. And that was the initial seed for the entire idea. Was like, wow, this works really well
for people who are funny.
Yeah, and that's why it's hard to keep up because I'm like, I didn't come up with a funny one. Doing it on the fly is a little bit difficult. It does take like a minute's curation, at least maybe 10 minutes to like come up with something that's actually going to fly that would be humorous. And then to have the audacity to believe that you would be humorous with your idea is very daunting as well. So
it is. It's a confidence issue.
It is.
Makes you want to become drunk mini, quite honestly.
Yeah. I want to puke on my skirt.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
are you ready for the music for your own rant?
Well, with that lead in, let's see. How could I ever fail at this?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, listen up, little magic elves. If that is your real name, how come in that Tom and Jerry cartoon from the 70s, you stayed up all night to help those cobblers build their shoes because they're old, but you won't sort my Lego while I'm sleeping? Why am I any different from those old geezers who can't cobble their own shoes? Why are they special and I'm not? And you know what's the worst part about this? I defend you. I defend you all the time because I tell anybody, just people on the street, people aren't even looking at me. I'm like, hey, you know what's happening tonight? I'm going to go to sleep, and those magical elves are going to sort all my Lego. And they say, those magical elves are not real. And I say, yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're beautiful, beautiful beings, and they're going to help me. They're going to help me tonight. And then you don't even come and sort my Lego, even though I defended you to all the non-believers. I don't understand why I even bother believing, because you're just not doing it for me. Oh, my time is up. I had more.
No, you didn't. Seeing is believing for Mark. That's the case.
I just have to. Yeah. Well, it's going to happen at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to happen tonight. I'm going to wake up. All my Legos are going to be sorted. The basement's going to be organized. And I'm going to have real ease of building this week because those goddamn elves are finally going to come to my house instead of that stupid old couple who can't cobble their own shoes anymore. Right?
Yeah.
You guys aren't saying anything.
I actually thought that would be a good service for hire. Like,
Yeah.
come and sort your Lego.
Magical elves.
It's a service.
I don't know what.
They're going to sort it by color, and it's going to piss you off, but like, at least it's a start.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah. But like, you don't have to pay them. They just like they do it. They do it. Oh, really? They can only make cookies? They can only make cookies or cobble shoes? Wait, what?
That's the union rules. I don't know.
Can I talk to their union leader?
Their union rep?
Yeah, that guy.
He's very hard to get a hold of. I heard he lives in a tree with no cell service, and he eats cookies and makes shoes all freaking day long. That's all he does. He doesn't return emails. He doesn't do anything else. He is committed to his work, and his work is cobbling and gobbling. That's it. He cobbles and gobbles. That's it.
I guess that makes sense on the surface, but no, they're coming tonight.
Okay.
They'll be here.
Okay.
Okay. You guys know what? To make this, like, remember that crescent moon idea you had for that window? I did find they make like they make a 3x6 half circle in dark blue. It is available in only one set.
Is it the Shadow Dojo?
I wish. It is. Hold on. Present. Share screen. Unfortunately, luckily there are 2 in the set, so I could make a full circle out of it. But it is this fucking set.
Oh,
excellent.
That is a set I have to buy in order to make that crescent moon window happen.
I chose not to buy this set today when I was at the Lego store.
That's a good
hard
choice.
To resist, but I didn't buy it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, there we go. That's what I have to do. I have to get myself to a Target. I have to hope that it's on clearance already. If I'm going to get that crescent moon window built by next week. If only we had the Celeste set. But we're not getting that until January of 2025. Why are the pictures out now?
Those sons of friends.
Bitches. And that's 2 more rants in the last couple things I've said that I could have done besides those cobbler enablers.
Cobbling and gobbling. That's what they do. Cobble and gobble.
I'm not okay with that. I'm set.
I feel like they've definitely been put into a box or a tree,
right?
And just like been forced in there. I think that they should have the opportunity to be whatever they want.
I agree.
You know?
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear all this stuff about what's an elf job and what's not.
Yeah, me either. It feels like this episode is ripe, and we should pick it. Great night, though. VMAC Attack, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's been awesome. It's nice to have a guest. You know, we've been talking about having guests, and like we haven't had the best of luck getting the guests that we've asked for. You came to us, and I was like, hell yes. You've been a great guest. Really appreciate you. And we'll start reaching out to people more. And we know that now we have somebody who can step in whenever we want, a third or second person, depending on if one of us is not here. Really fun night.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Thank
Indeed. Well, and you know, you were here, and you weren't here by accident, because you know there are no mistakes, just happy accidents.
Exactly.
And it wasn't a mistake to bring you on. It wasn't even an accident, because there are none.
That's true. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you to the Tainted. Thank you for everyone who supports Brickworld, supports the stream, supports us, loves Lego, XYZ. And we'll leave you with this little bit of inspiration written for you by Brick Dad Builds.
When I open the box, pieces galore. I'm dreaming of castles, but it feels like a chore. These bricks in my head, they don't make it clear. Where's the blueprint for magic? I'm full of fear. Feeling lost, like I'm blocked by a wall. But I won't let it break me, I'll stand tall. Braving the elements in search of the light, building my dreams through the endless night. Architect of my passion, with a vision so bright. One brick at a time, I'll win this fight. Kids build unicorns with laughter and ease. Dragons and spaceships, the creativity frees. While I'm counting the angles, frustrated I cry, searching for answers, wishing I could fly. Every piece tells a tale, I'll find my way. Through trials and errors, it's my play. Braving the elements in search of the light, building my dreams through the endless night. Architect of my passion, with a vision so bright. One brick at a time, I'll win this fight. So I'll keep on building piece by piece, with each creation a moment of peace. Braving the elements in search of the light, building my dreams through the endless night. Architect of my passion, with a vision so bright. One brick at a time, I'll win this fight. So I'll keep on building piece by piece, with each creation